Yo, yo, yo. All right. NFL Sunday, Week 11. We've got Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs. And we are live. All right. Hey, Adam. I was actually at the game. Yeah, I was actually at the game. Jan, what's up? What's up, Jan?
Has the right calls.
First down and 10 at the 44.
So now we got Washington and the Panthers going on. Washington 27, Panthers 21. Minute 26 left in the fourth, and the Panthers have the ball.
Cam Newton just trying to shovel it forward with pressure.
Cam shovel pass, incomplete.
Providing the Heat. Want to welcome those of you who have been watching Detroit and Cleveland.
Yeah, man. It started
Charlotte,
raining, and
an incomplete pass
they were
Cam
losing
on first
bad.
down.
Really,
sometimes in these 2-minute drills,
really upset about that.
If 1 and 2 aren't open quickly, you can get it to your halfback immediately. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson reminding me of his check down, his flare control, whatever the route was. It's a sneak or a flare or a swing or a rail. He would remind me, so it's the last thing I heard, so I knew I had a contingency plan and always knew where the back was.
Second down, pressure up the gut. Newton Hayes, he throws, fires it to Ian
Pass
Thomas.
for about
Thomas
7 yards to Thomas from Cam Newton.
Washington 48 brings up third and short.
We lost to the Colts.
Excellent job keeping his momentum going forward, and Cam getting that ball
Smoking
to the
Dragon
sideline,
won. Man, I don't know.
Remember, your
Tough.
momentum's got to be going
Tough day. They
forward.
couldn't get it together. Defense was off.
McCaffrey's kind of playing with his
Offense wasn't clicking.
Calf or something. He's like stretching it out there.
Kind of, thinking
In
about
the
the Saints and how that's going to work out.
They've played now 9 games in the last 27 over the last 2 years.
I wasn't watching yesterday, bro.
And the throw in traffic, and Zylstra can't pull it in. And now fourth down, and the game in the balance for Washington and Carolina.
Contested catch. What a great play on defense.
William Jackson, the third out there on coverage, Mark.
Huge pass breakup. And this is it for all the marbles. Cam's return.
You guys won, huh?
1 for 2 today on fourth down. 4-man rush. Cam in trouble.
Cam sacked.
And the Washington
And this
defense
game is over.
ends the storybook return of Cam Newton to Carolina with a fourth down sack.
Wow.
It looked like DJ Moore might have had a shot up top.
Yeah, it was raining.
In the slot,
And then
and those quick out routes that they've hit all game.
It was
and
miserable
Cam's
out there,
been
man. The whole
nails on
stadium
him.
was miserable.
He went back with his crossing routes, and in zone they were just kind of sitting, waiting for him. Look at him. Oh, he creates the separation right at the sticks. I mean, it's going to be a tight throw and a bang-bang type play, but in those gotta-have-it situations, that's the way they end up. Would have loved to see Cam work up top, but what a day for him. And
I was under like the heat lamps and
doing his best Brett Favre impression.
had decent seats, so I didn't get rained on. I was like literally under
touchdowns for Heineke.
the section where we have the heat lamps.
And the Cam Newton sign getting rolled up for today. It'll be here, I'm sure, when they're back in town to face the Atlanta Falcons, but for today, Cam sign gets put away.
So Panthers are going to be 5-6
Admirable performance today for Cam
after
Newton.
this.
But Taylor Heineke
Washington moves on to be
was
4-6.
outstanding for Washington. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns in his return to a place he once called home. And the Washington football team gets a 27-21 win. And the former head coach of the Panthers exchanging a hug and congratulations to Cam Newton. Ron Rivera, the winningest coach in Panthers history, gets another win here in Charlotte. 27-21, our final. For Mark Sanchez and Laura Oakman, this is Kevin Kugler. Now it's time for the State Farm Game Break. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Welcome to the State Farm Game Break Show.
Well, we'll get you to America's Game of the Week in just a bit. It's a big one. Dak and the Dallas Cowboys at Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Also, Dak is actually 2 yards
Most of you would
behind
get that game. Others
passing
will
yards
get
per
Russell
game
Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks
from
trying to
Patrick
get back to their
Mahomes.
winning
Literally
ways.
2 yards. He has 292.
Who's leading the Arizona Cardinals again
Mahomes
this
has
week, making his
294.
first start
It's crazy.
in place of the injured Kyler Murray. But first, a little extra coverage for you here on the State Farm postgame show. Kurt Menefee and the gang rolling through some highlights here on this Sunday of Week 11, starting with Green Bay at Minnesota.
Oh, what a great day. If you love quarterback play, great quarterback play, well, you enjoyed this game. Aaron Rodgers with 4 touchdown passes, this one in the closing minutes of the fourth quarter to give the Green Bay Packers a lead. Scantling on a 75-yard touchdown. Game tied at 31-all after what looked like an interception ruled an incompletion. Down the field goes the Minnesota Vikings, and then Greg Joseph with a 29-yard field goal as time expired. Vikings 34, Green Bay 31. Washington football team at Carolina saying hello to Cam Newton. Taylor Heineke back looking right there, wide open in between the corner and the safety. Nice spot. 4-yard score to Carter, 21-14. Washington, 4th and 3. Yeah. Newton dropped back.
Heineke.
Heineke.
You probably knew how the Heineke.
What did I say?
Heineke.
Washington wins their second straight. Saints at Eagles.
Heineke.
Oh, wow.
Trevor Siemian picked off Darius Slay. This is his 3rd touchdown of the season on defense. 51-yard score. All Eagles 40-22 the final. Lions still looking for that first win, coming off a tie. Now at Cleveland.
There you go. Oh, I thought you were going to keep on going. All right, Nick Chubb dialed in the flat roll left, went Baker Mayfield, 5-yard touchdown, 13-10. Cleveland wins that.
Fred, I'm just seeing your comment, bro.
Garoppolo,
yeah, man.
out of the shotgun, sitting back.
We gotta chop it up.
Sets up.
Crazy weekend. You know what
Touchdown
happened.
pass down the middle,
For the most
6-yard
part,
strike.
you know,
30-10.
things are okay.
49ers over the Jacksonville.
The kids are feeling a little better, so that's the count.
Colts playing at Buffalo. Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin. Taylor gets a handoff, makes it. Few defenders miss, bounces to the outside, speed and power, 10-yard score. Indianapolis 31-7. Then Taylor punches it in from 1 yard out. Taylor's 5th touchdown of the game, 4 rushing, 1 receiving. You talk about a shocker. Indianapolis Colts 41-15 over the Buffalo Bills. Justin Fields left the game in the 3rd quarter with a rib injury. 25 seconds left in the game. Devontae Freeman, 3-yard touchdown run. Baltimore Ravens come back and beat Chicago Bears 16-13. Texans at the Titans. Tyrod Taylor setting up, scrambling, looking right, looking left, flushed out of the pocket, turns on the speed to the outside, bulls in from 5 yards out. 2 touchdowns rushing.
Man, good looks for that.
Taylor.
You know, it was definitely good to see. You know, the team was
the Tennessee Titans
giving me support during that moment.
Tua Tagovailoa starting for the
Definitely
Miami
means
Dolphins.
a lot, man. So I do thank you
Miles
for that.
Gaskin, crossing route, nobody
crazy.
there. Everybody dropped off, easy completion.
'Cause, you know,
5-yard touchdown.
yeah,
Miami
we'll chop it up, bro.
24. New
Definitely.
York Jets 17.
And the Dolphins now have a 2-game win streak as well. When we come back, it was a big day for the Minnesota Vikings. Their young wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, had the best day he's had all season long. We'll talk about that as we all get you ready for America's Game of the Week. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs get ready to host the Cowboys.
Jake from State Farm. What's good?
Oh, Patrick?
Nah, fam. Just your typical sneakerhead working here for the employee discount. But speaking of deals, I heard regular guys like me are getting the Patrick price. That can't be real, right?
Listen, State Farm offers rates that fit any budget. Even yours, typical sneakerhead.
These just sold out then.
All right. So we got Dallas, Kansas City coming up. We've got 10 votes. Wow, 10 votes. And we're exactly tied. Dallas 50%, Kansas City 50%. I feel like this is going to be a great game. I really do. I've been missing, so I do want to apologize to everyone that's listening right now that's subscribed to me. I had a little family situation. Our dog actually had got hit by a vehicle. The guy kept going. Unfortunately, we had to put our dog down. So yeah, that was the situation as far as why I had to take a little hiatus. Unfortunately, things like this happen, and he surely will be missed. But that's where we're at, and life brings its changes, But it's football Sunday. Dallas, Kansas City. We now have 11 votes. We've got Dallas at 45%, Kansas City 55%, and we're getting ready for this game. If you were wondering, I actually went to the Bills game today, and it was raining, a little miserable. Fans were not happy, including myself, as far as what happened today. And I left a little early, so I can come be with you guys. And obviously to get out the stadium before it got too crazy. It's normally like an hour wait to get out of there. But yeah. The defense, Bills defense, man, terrible today. Offense wasn't clicking at all, and it's just where we're at. So yeah.
Packers, another big day for their young receiver, Justin Jefferson, 160 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Oh, and a conversation with Pam Oliver.
Well, Justin, the Vikings have been up, they've been down. You've won close ones and you lost close ones. To come out on top in a game like this against that quarterback, tell me what that means.
It means a lot.
Julian says Cam Newton picking up where he left off.
We came mentally prepared.
Yeah.
We knew who was in town.
Yeah, it was a close game,
I'm
man.
just glad we got the dub.
8 catches,
Definitely was a close game.
169
Could have went
yards,
either
2
way.
touchdowns for you. I know your nickname is Jets, but I think it should be no doubt. That ball's in the air, and there's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do for a living. I go make plays, and I've been telling Kirk this whole time, just give me a chance. Give me the opportunity to go up and make a play, and that's what we got done today.
And how have you been able to do that? Talk to Kurt about that and stay polite.
I feel like I make the plays when it comes to me. So, I'll just give him the option. Just give him that word in his ear to tell him, I'm going to get it at any time.
You're so fired up all the time, so much energy, got a smile on your face half the time. So tell me what that's like as a competitor when those opportunities may be
yeah,
limited.
it's 100%, man.
Just making big plays for the team.
Jonathan Taylor's a beast.
Like you say,
and I was really surprised.
We just got to make the most of the opportunities when they come.
Not by his talent, but just the way that he shredded the defense. It was crazy.
You're a lot of fun to watch.
It was like he was unstoppable.
For a while, Justin Jefferson wasn't really involved in this offense as much as he would like. The last 2 weeks, Jimmy, he's had 17 catches for more than 300 yards.
Watching it live was nuts.
Yeah, you look at it.
Patrick Snyder, I was there, man. I was there watching it live today.
But look at his quarterback. His quarterback
it was bad.
341 yards. And really,
just imagine sitting there in the stands, watching it happen.
And that's not going against the weak defense.
It wasn't a good feeling, bro.
Defense been playing outstanding.
Definitely wasn't a good feeling,
last 3 or 4 weeks. One of the better defensive teams in the entire league. But both quarterbacks, Rodgers played well, Cousins played well. You had 2 outstanding receivers with Adams and Jefferson. Just a great ball game to watch.
But it just blows my mind. You're watching Jefferson run free. You're watching Adams run free. Valdez-Scantling, I mean, he led the Green Bay Packers 123 yards on 4 catches. And you what? How are these guys always open? Is the offense that, I mean, you're a quarterback, TV. Are these offenses so creative that they figure out ways to get these guys open? But wouldn't you say, let me focus on these guys who continuously, week after week, put up these big numbers to shut them down and make someone else make a play?
But they have more than one receiver that can make big plays.
Yeah.
So that's the key
and the
right
traffic
there.
wasn't too crazy going to the stadium.
You can scheme.
We got there a little early. We got there like around
when
like
the quarterback reaches progression,
11:45ish.
the scheme one time could take
but
him
then
to
getting
the
in
top
was like
of
tough.
the route. The next
Getting in
time
took a while.
to the
Getting in
bottom
took maybe
of the route.
like
Depends on what
30
you're trying
minutes.
to take
The
away.
lines were just
And
nuts.
most of these deep passes, almost
And
all of them, y'all hear me say this for
but yeah, the
28
same thing.
years
Like
now,
yeah, we heard the train horns go off, and it was just like yeah, it's gonna be a rough day. Like by the time we got in, the Colts had already scored, so it was like really like literally by the time we got in, the Colts had already scored.
Man, the way they set this stuff up, they scheme these guys to get open.
We weren't like that far into the game, so it was just crazy to even hear that. Like walking in, they had scored.
That's true,
so
and he still had a big game, almost 90
It was all
yards
downhill
rushing.
from there.
Let's talk about another guy that we didn't talk about on the pregame show and much of the week. Everybody talked about Ron Rivera going back to face Cam Newton. Nobody mentioned Taylor Heineke was going back to face his old team again.
Heineken.
3 touchdowns. 3 touchdown passes. Now Washington suddenly they've beaten Tampa. Now they've beaten Carolina. And Ron Rivera seems to be getting the kind of team that he likes. Good defense and just enough plays right there at the end, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, good defense, surprisingly enough, when the Sweat is out, and your number one pick for last, he's out as well. So to see that you don't have 2 of your key players on your D-line would set the entire tone for this defense. It says a lot about Ron Rivera and the coaching job that they're doing. But Jonathan Allen is an incredible player on the interior side of that line. But Heineke to go there with the pressure, all the hype, all the noise of having Cam Newton back in the house, and Heineke's like, yo, what about me? I used to run this place too. And for him to go in and play the way that he's been playing and lead this team to win down there in Carolina says a lot about this young man and his character. He threw some incredibly nice balls out there to his receivers.
Don't forget, Gibson's a pretty good running back, and McLaurin is an outstanding
I'll be on with you guys Thursday night.
We should see some good players coming up next year. Kansas City and Dallas, TV.
Yeah,
and
this
Bills,
is a game. Look,
you know I'm
in
here.
The pregame show.
Good food.
I mean, I stepped out there
I'll
big
be here
time
with you guys. You're rocking with me.
I said I was
Bills
strong
and
with
Saints
my
on
remarks
Thanksgiving
simply
night.
because if Dallas
I might even share a plate with y'all.
truly belong in the Super Bowl picture,
you know, if you guys eat that late,
beat
I might
teams
share a plate
like
with y'all.
Tampa. They lost barely. They have to beat Kansas City on the road. I don't care where they play. They have to beat them. They have the personnel to beat them. They have the coaching staff to beat them. They have to do that. Once they get over that hump, the confidence you get as a talented football team, even though we all look at them and go, wow, they're really good. But maybe they don't quite believe it as well as we believe it. This is huge for Dallas.
But a team like Dallas, who's very physical, can run the ball, they are set and have the perfect recipe to win on the road.
And this is a tough place to play, though. You guys always talk about how difficult it is. Kansas City is a great market, great fan base. We expect a great game. It's the Chiefs and the Cowboys, America's game of the week, next.
Yeah, I was just gonna answer the question. There's no fee to sub, bro. My bad. My mic was actually muted. There's no fee to subscribe. Everything's free here, bro. So just enjoy the game, listening, and yeah, we got 143 viewers. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. We need 50 likes. That's the first goal. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. Get us up to 50 likes. 142 viewers. I just need 50 of you guys to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure we get to 50 likes. That is the first goal. And we're going to get to this Kansas City and Dallas game soon here. And let's keep it going.
Boys in the Kansas City Chiefs.
Patrick Snyder, how wet were y'all from the rain? It was pretty. It wasn't too bad. It was just it was coming down. It was like a light drizzle, nothing too crazy. But we made it out there just in time and didn't rain on too much.
2021 in Week 11, and in some ways it's a measuring stick for both teams. Dallas trying to prove they're legit and for real this year, and Kansas City, Troy, trying to build on that big game, that win they had at Las Vegas.
Well, both of these teams come in with a lot of confidence, particularly Kansas City, because they'd gone through a period where they were struggling, but a big win, both offenses scoring over 40 points last Sunday, and I agree with you that this is a bit of a measuring stick because of the healthy respect that each of these teams have for one another. I know this, that if this game lives up to what we expect,
287 viewers, 36 likes. Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's get over 50. I need 50 of you guys to go ahead and hit that like button. Get us over 50. The more the merrier, but 50 is the first goal. Let's hit that like button, guys. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We do this Monday, Thursdays, and Sunday. Mondays, Thursday, and Sunday.
Telling team officials that he woke up with swelling in his knee overnight. He went through all pregame warm-ups, getting through that, talking to Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator, pregame just a short while ago. He said he will be a go. As for how much he does, I'm going to leave that up to Tyron. He is the most versatile defender on this Chiefs team, and against a potent Dallas offense, guys, 32 will be someone to watch to see how this plays out.
Joel Kizeda, subscribe. Thanks a lot, bro. Welcome to the family.
Talk about weather. I guess for the 21st of November, you can't complain. 57 degrees, a bit windy, but about as good as you're going to get.
Jeff Davis just subscribed. Welcome to the
Field
family,
conditions
bro.
Ideal, a fast track, and two teams that can light it up. Cowboys won the toss, and true to form here recently.
So Cowboys are going to get the ball first. Kansas City kicking off.
He says he wants the ball.
Here we go.
Butker kicks it away. Pollard on the return from just outside the 5.
Decent run back. He's going to make it to about 25.
And before the Cowboys take over at their own 25, let's say hello
Brown,
to
just subscribe. Welcome to the family,
Hi, Joe.
bro.
Well, the Dallas offense prepped all week like they would have wide receiver Amari Cooper, but then news on Friday he would be out after testing positive for COVID-19. I spoke with C.D. Lamb, who said it's next man up mentality in our wide receiver room. If it falls on me, I'm ready for it. He said this all just lines up perfectly. Biggest game in my NFL career, and I couldn't be more excited, Joe.
I think he speaks for all of us.
Thomas Chronicles just subscribe. Welcome to the
Little
family, bro.
Fake
Deep pass.
Open, but overthrown
incomplete. Overthrown Gallup.
Cowboys could have hit a big one right out of the gate, but Prescott and Gallup can't connect.
Boy, they sure had a shot.
Julia
Charvarius
Parra
Ward, he
just
falls
subscribed.
down
Welcome to
there
the
on the
family.
turf, and it's wide open up that sideline, trying to fit it in there before Juan Thornhill can get over the top, but a missed shot to open this game.
Now they fake the run and try to dump it off to Lamb. Makes a nice catch. Strong move.
This catch to Lamb going to be for about 6 yards.
First down. That's Thornhill making that stop. A gain of 7, so 3rd and 3 coming up, and we take a look at Dak Prescott and where he sits at the top
Goats here
of the
just
heap.
subscribe. Welcome to the family.
Here through 9 games. 7-2. The Cowboys record, 3rd and 3.
The Chiefs are all up in there to start this first 3rd down. Juan Thornhill's the deepest defender they have on the field.
Now Matthews shifts back.
Back in the back. Nice pass. Incomplete.
By Brown.
And we have a 3 and out.
Rashad Fenton was there. Don't know if he broke it up, but the pass looked to be in a good spot. It's 4th down.
Yeah, it did. Noah Brown doesn't run too bad of a route there. He's got a chance. He's got a step. Take a closer look at it. Yeah, just right through his hands. Just a perfectly thrown ball. So already Kansas City challenging these receivers.
Anger, the punter, hits it, hangs it high. Hughes will stay away, and it takes a Cowboy bounce.
And we're going to pin this down
to the 14. 53-yard punt by Brian Anger.
Oraculum, thanks a lot, man.
And here comes Patrick Mahomes. Big game, 406 yards, 5 touchdowns in the win at Las Vegas. A season high, and it just felt like order was reestablished for this offense, or maybe in the grander scheme with the Kansas City Chiefs lighting up a scoreboard.
All right, Felix.
Edwards-Helaire is back and right up
Edwards-Helaire with about a 6-yard run.
Picks up 6. Edwards-Helaire missed 5 games with that MCL sprain he suffered against the Bills, but he's back. And we look at this offense. They are 4th overall. They have the rookies up front, and there's nobody playing any better than Creed Humphrey at center, the rookie from Oklahoma. And on 2nd down, Edwards-Helaire to
another 8-yard run.
9-yard
run, 1st down.
This offensive line to open up this game, just getting a good push on that defensive front, and I kind of expected Dallas to come out and try to pound the ball. They threw it, and on the other end, here comes Kansas City. Yeah, they're not a team that commits to the run very often, but first 2 plays, and they're able to pick up the 1st down.
Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield, just
going to step out, gain about a yard.
Backpedals right out of bounds, a gain of 1. Well, how good is this defense? They are 15th overall. They've been taking the ball away, 3rd most, 17 on the year. They're still a bit banged up front.
No problem, bro.
They await the return of DeMarcus Lawrence, and they're without Randy Gregory, 2 really good defensive ends. Mahomes out to his right.
That's going to be a catch.
Hill 1st down.
Well, Dallas is playing a shell coverage. So in that win that Kansas City had the other night against the Raiders played a lot of single high. You see the safeties here, and they've been, to start this opening possession, that's pretty much what they have been doing, just going to try to take the big play away from them, and Mahomes has been patient.
Here's a toss to Hill.
Hill is gone. It's got to be about at least 30, 35 yards. Hill is so fast, man.
34 yards for number 10.
Yards.
The Chiefs go 2 tight ends left, and you're going to see Blake Bell. He starts this way, and then he comes back, and he helps lead the way. And then you've got the reverse with blockers out in front. That's really well set up, and just nobody on the outside for Dallas to help with containment.
Darrell Williams checks in for the Chiefs.
Yes, audio only.
They fake it to him, throw it to Hill, one-on-one with Brown.
Go to Hill for about 8 yards.
Pretty impressive drive right here to open up this game for Kansas City. Just showing a lot of patience. Patrick Mahomes is mixing in the run. Andy Reid's got Dallas reeling a little bit right now.
Edwards-Helaire splits out wide to the top. Second and 2. Quick throw over the middle and off the hands of Hardman, incomplete.
Incomplete pass. It was almost picked off.
That's where Kansas City really gets you, because you're so conscious defensively to not give up the big plays, not give up the seam routes. They really threaten you down the field, even though they're down here, you know, into the red zone. And McCole Hardman, if he's able to make that catch and put his foot in the ground, there was quite a bit of space in front of him.
Now 3rd down and 2.
Watch the games. Go.
They may get the first down by penalty.
Sure looks that way. Really good work by Patrick Mahomes, being able to use the cadence to his advantage here at home.
Encroachment. Defense number 99. Result of play. First down.
It's Justin Hamilton.
Jonathan, 1985 Howard.
Most penalized team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys hand Kansas City a first down.
It's all love here.
At the Dallas 15.
Mahomes for the run. And he's going to get the first down.
Sets up first and goal.
Jason Kelce, he's their guy they like down here, but Tyreek Hill's going to draw a lot of attention. They've got inside out on him. And Patrick Mahomes, this is what Dan Quinn talked about, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, is about 25% of the time, the plays, Patrick Mahomes is outside the pocket. So they obviously you want to try to contain him, but just nobody there with that rush to keep him inside.
Look at this formation. That's Kelce in the middle of it.
Kelce's going to run up the middle, and that's a touchdown. Kansas City Chiefs.
Side of this offensive line, Trey Smith and Andrew Wiley right here. The push that they're able to get on the double team, Kelce gets right in behind it. That's what they've done when they've run the ball to open this drive. When they had Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the backfield, and they got the good push, and they continued to get that on that play with Travis Kelce in the Wildcat formation.
4-yard touchdown run by Travis Kelce. Extra point is no good.
Extra point is no good.
Second
Kansas
career
City
rushing
6,
touchdown
Dallas
for
0.
Travis Kelce. As the Chiefs trying to pick up where they left off.
All right, so we got ourselves a game, guys. Kansas City 6, Dallas 0. We've got 584 viewers, 89 likes. We need to get to 150 likes, guys. That's the goal. Anything else, of course, is a cherry on top. Let's hit that like button. Let's get to 150. We've got 578 viewers. Let's get to 150 likes. Going to the comments. I've got Draft Magic. Dallas better win. I bet 6 weeks pay on this game. I have to repeat this for you guys. Draft Magic says Dallas better win. I bet 6 weeks pay on this game. All right, man. Just know I'm in the middle. I'm not rooting for either team. I'm in the middle. I'm just excited to see it. We've got, let's see. D had me worried by Felix. Tyler Godwin, go Dallas. Trev, where's Jonas? He was texting me earlier, bro. Jonas was texting me earlier. Said he'd be on. He's probably back and forth. You know how these guys are about Dallas. Red Sill, D up, Texas. Let's get it, Dallas. I feel you, brother. Mark Valenzuela, good sounding quality, my brother. The game sounds good, my man. No problem, man. I try to make sure I have the best quality for you guys, so you can listen and hear the game the way that it needs to be heard. And I just try to give light commentary. That way, I'm not getting too overbearing for you guys. That's why people stick with me. And Araculum says, kind of hoping the Chiefs fall short in the second half. It's going to be a good one, guys. Definitely think it's going to be a good one. Going to the votes, we have 382 votes. Dallas 65%, Kansas City 34%. And what's crazy is I was watching it earlier and it kind of like switched. Like it was Kansas City up big, but now Dallas is up big. So it's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. What else we got? We got A Loft says Texas sucks. I'm a Packers fan. Well, you're on a Kansas City Chiefs and Dallas Cowboys stream, bro. But hey, you know what? We're all here. Rockulum says would create a hell of a story to follow. Let's see. Yeah, man, draft magic again. I'm really stuck on that. Six weeks pay. All right, let's get back to it.
Jerry Jones and Lamar Hunt both lived on Preston Road in Dallas, and so they developed that trophy kind of as a joke between the two of them. It currently resides with the Cowboys as they defeated the Chiefs 28-17 back in 2017. Cowboys 5-3 against Kansas City since '89. Little midseason report for the Dallas Cowboys. They lost that crusher week 1 by 2 in Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl champions, but then they won their next 6 games and racked up 455 total yards a game, most in the league, and they are averaging just under 32 points a game. Last time the Cowboys led the NFL in scoring,
Ray J all day just subscribe. Welcome to the family, bro. Trev, I think we do have another Greg situation.
As the Chiefs just witnessed Harrison Butker miss his first extra point of the season, but they marched right down the field, the Chiefs did, and lead by 6. Back to the ground they go, and Elliott is bottled up behind the line by Nick Bolton. Second-round pick from down the road at Mizzou, and they really hit on this linebacker. He is a good one.
He really is, and these linebackers, they do play downhill. He's got pressure off the other side as well, and there was just no push to speak of by the offensive line inside. Nowhere for Ezekiel Elliott to run.
Tyron Smith missing his 3rd straight game. Here's a high throw.
Short pass, never stopping the back. Man, Kansas City defense is on it.
And on this possession, the Cowboys are going backward, a loss of 4.
Well, they got Dalton Schultz, who's out there to help protect that throw, and he just doesn't get, watch it out here, or excuse me, the other side of it, and he just doesn't get anything on the corner.
Prescott
loses the ball with the fumble. Chiefs get the ball.
On the return.
My goodness.
Turnover here early by Dallas as Frank Clark forced the fumble, and Chris Jones was there for the Chiefs.
Well, you're going to see 55, Frank Clark. He rushes, just nobody picks him up. I mean, Terrence Steele's out there. He doesn't come out of his stance till late. Doesn't see the ball. You see they're running right past Steele before he even comes out of his stance. Prescott really doesn't feel it. Could not have gotten off to a worse start for Dallas.
They missed on the first play from scrimmage on that deep throw to Gallup.
Bobby Dean Lewis just subscribed.
Haven't really done anything since, and now they turn it over. Chiefs have it at the 22. Hand off to Williams.
Williams will run for about 3
made
yards.
Up front by the Dallas defense, a gain of 3 as Odigizua and Dorrance Armstrong has been playing well of late combined on the stop. Darrell Williams coming off his career high with a 144 scrimmage yards at Las Vegas, but he'll now take a back seat to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's back.
Well, Darrell Williams did a nice job filling in for him. A little different runner, certainly, than what Edwards-Helaire is. But I like the balance that Andy Reid and this offense has shown so far. This is a big drive right here for this Dallas defense and not letting Kansas City into the end zone.
Mahomes flips it and incomplete with Van Der Esch in coverage on Williams.
Really a flag on that? No flag, wow.
Micah Parsons had pressure on Mahomes.
You can hear the crowd. They're wanting to pass interference there on Leighton Van Der Esch, and here at the end of this play, the hand comes in. They're looking for a forcible blow. But
and there was definitely some pass interference
there's the contact, an underthrown ball. Leighton Van Der Esch never knew the ball had been thrown. I know the crowd wanted to see the penalty, but I like that there was not a penalty on roughing the passer.
3rd down and 7 now. Mahomes slings it, and it's dropped by Gordon. Josh Gordon now targeted 5 times, has just 1 catch.
As
the Chiefs are giving him yet another chance to make it back in the NFL.
Yeah, they give him a chance. He hasn't had many opportunities. Not an easy catch, but one that he could certainly make. But boy, to set Kansas City up with that kind of field position and then force them to have to try to settle for 3 points, that's a really good job by Dallas, and probably had more to do with lack of execution by Kansas City.
There's Butker off that extra point miss. This just a little farther,
and the field goal is good right down the middle. Kansas City 9, Dallas 0.
3 points off the turnover. Clark knocked it out. Jones.
All right. So we've got 749 viewers, 142 likes. Let's get these likes up, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Goal is 200 likes. The goal right now is 200. We need to get 200 likes. 753 viewers. Need you guys to hit that like button so we can get to 200. Heading over to the votes. We have 481 votes. Dallas is at 64%. Kansas City is at 36%. Coming over to the comments. We've got Fatboy Productions. So happy I don't gamble. Father and son Kamehameha tried to tell Cowgirls fans no Amari Cooper is a big thing. U.S. Vet Chiefs, thumbs up. Red Seal, regardless, no one in the NFL should be underestimating Pat Mahomes. Charlie Brown says Chiefs. Tom P, wow, Cowboys fan, but live in KC. This is going to be interesting. And that guy says, come on, Dallas, pull through. I knew from the start it's going to be a good one. I definitely did. Red Seal, Portland in the house. I see you. Sean Taylor, let's go Cowboys. I like this. We got a nice mix here today. Nice mix. Nice mix. I'm sure we got people from all around the country. Felix, Canada. Okay, Canada, see you. So we got Portland, Canada. I think I seen Mississippi earlier. Yeah, Mississippi. Charlie Brown, JR, who you got? I don't know, man. You know, my Bills lost today, and I was there today, so I'm just all over the place right now. I don't know. I think I want Dallas to win, but I feel like, right? I want Dallas to win, but I feel like the Chiefs are going to pull it off. That's how I feel. So what we got? We got Bishop from Phoenix. Fatboy Productions, Utah. Cruz Navarro, Mexico. Nadal, New York. Oh, yeah, we all over, y'all. Farrell from Arkansas. Mike Y, Indiana. I like this. Yes. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's keep it going.
And they have suffered a strip sack that led to 3 points and a 9-point hole they have to try to climb out of here on the road. As Butker drills it through the back of the end zone. This defense has been getting better and better and better. And that's put a smile on the face of Steve Spagnuolo.
Well, the last 3 games, this has been a top 10 defense, and each week is a little bit different. Spagnuolo is really good at changing up his looks and what exactly his philosophy is going to be on any given week. 2 weeks ago, they went after Jordan Love and the Packers a lot. They did not so much against the Raiders, but in the early going, he has shown that he's going to be aggressive against this Dallas offense.
Here is Elliott.
Run to Elliott for about a yard.
Something. He gets 2 as Anthony Hitchens makes that stop. I think the question, Troy, for Kansas City is with regard to that defense. It's been good here during this 3-game win streak, but that was against the Giants,
Augustin, hi from
Green
Argentina.
Bay,
What's
Aaron
up, bro?
Rodgers,
Welcome
and
to the
against
family.
a Vegas team that's going through all kinds of things. So how good are they? Here's a pass caught by Schultz, and he's got the Cowboys
for about
with a
13.
first down out across their 35. Dalton Schultz has become more of a weapon here this year for Dak Prescott.
Yes, he has, and he had a good year last year when Blake Jarwin went down, and that's what this offense needed. Just they needed to pick up a first down and just try to settle in. Really, what do? They're not having much success. They fumbled the ball.
Justin, YouTube TV, bro.
But so far, at least, pretty tough sledding for Elliott on the ground game.
Prescott down
Deep
the sideline
pass
for Schultz. It's not there.
Overthrown.
And if Tyrann Mathieu came to the stadium with a bad knee, it didn't show
Restless
there. He
mind.
was stride for stride
What's
with
up,
the
bro?
Cowboys tight end.
Well, they're just locking up. A lot of man coverage so far by Kansas City, and this is where you miss a guy like Amari Cooper. And yeah, they've got some weapons, but Amari Cooper is one of those guys too. He's just another person who can win versus man coverage. So that's a pretty impactful loss for this Dallas offense, especially based on how they're being played right now.
Handoff here to Elliott, and he delivers.
Zeke is going to get about 6 yards
on 2nd and 10, gets 6 as he bangs into Nick Bolton.
I think you said it, Joe. He usually
what do you think happened to the Bills today?
I mean, I talk about it a lot whenever we do the Cowboys. That
to keep it short, they just couldn't get it together.
Everybody knows about how explosive he is and how he's a home run threat. But he is as physical
Juwan Walker,
and as
just
violent a
welcome to the family, bro.
3rd down and 4 now, a long 4.
Mike, we in the same boat, man. Same boat.
Prescott
on the run, gets it off, catch.
And a somersault with a first down for Michael Gallup and a gain of 11.
So you can't double everybody, but you can double a couple. And they're going to double CeeDee Lamb. They're playing inside out on him, and he clears it out. But what that then does is it allows Gallup one-on-one, and then somebody has to win, and he does. And Prescott's able to get him the football. Really nice work of navigating that pass rush, and by Gallup in his 2nd game back after missing so many games, winning on the one-on-one look.
Interesting formation here as Pollard fakes the toss. And
my goodness.
To the sideline and
going to make it to about
play to the Cowboys. A direct snap to Tony Pollard. He faked the toss to Prescott coming around and carried it for 31.
And this lead block by Ezekiel Elliott on Snead, look at that. I mean, he just completely pounds him. So you've got Pollard in their 2-back set with Ezekiel Elliott lead blocking for him. And that's some of the different looks that we've seen from Kellen Moore, not just this year, but last year as well. He's really been excellent in his creativity and giving various looks to a defense.
Season long for Pollard, 31-yard carry. First down at the 15. Prescott, Elliott.
Pass, Elliott for about
and driving him out is Willie Gay.
2 yards.
Short gain of 2. Well, here they are inside the 20 of the Dallas Cowboys as Elliott comes away limping.
Ooh, wow. That's not good. Zeke's definitely limping.
That doesn't look good at all.
Let's see what happened here at the end.
God, it looked like this right ankle was tucked under.
Pollard comes in. Cowboys 8 for their last 8 inside the 20, scoring touchdowns. Would they love one here? Pollard right side.
They run to Pollard. Gonna get
Willie Gay makes the stop at the 10.
3 yards.
Give you another look at Ezekiel Elliott and that tackle. Watch the right ankle.
Ooh. Yeah, his knee came down.
But he's standing on the sideline. Not getting looked at.
His knee came down on Zeke's ankle. So.
Meanwhile, it's 3rd and 5.
Didn't look good. 3rd and 5, Dallas.
Third and 10.
It's going to come back 5 yards. 3rd and 10. False start.
Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Lyle Collins there at right tackle, and already we've seen We saw Kansas City be able to draw Dallas off on 3rd down, using hard count to their advantage, and then the crowd noise being a factor offensively for this Cowboys team.
For an outdoor stadium, there is nothing like this stadium for a visiting team. Prescott.
Deep pass to the end zone. There's some contact. There should have been a flag.
Ward and Michael Gallup.
They're letting them play today. They're letting these guys play today.
CeeDee Lamb a fair amount in this game already, but here on the other side in the slot, they had Tyrann Mathieu, who's lined up on CeeDee Lamb with no safety help, working to his side. I think it was one of those where, and he was soft in his coverage. I think it was an opportunity. Dak wanted to take the home run, but he could have come to CeeDee Lamb to pick up that 1st down.
33-yard try by Greg Zuerlein. Missed last week on the COVID list. Extra point distance for number 2. Good hold.
Field goal right down the middle. 33-yard attempt is good.
Got it up.
That puts Dallas on the board. 3.
Zuerlein knocked it through.
9.
Back to a 6-point game in KC.
All right. So let's see what's going on here. We've got 836 viewers. 836 viewers. Likes 181. We need to get that over 200, guys. 837 viewers. 181 likes. Let's hit that like button. Get us over 200. Get us over 200 likes. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We do this every Monday, Thursday, and of course Sunday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you can stay locked in to streams just like this. Like I said, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Get us over 200. 811 viewers, 194 likes. Hit that like button. Every like helps. Every like keeps the stream going. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So make sure you subscribe and smash that like button, y'all. All right, 606 votes. We've still got Dallas in the lead with 61%, Kansas City at 39%. Once again, 606 votes. Dallas 61%, Kansas City now at 40%. Looks like that margin's closing in. 795 viewers, 212 likes. Keep hitting that like button, y'all. Let's break some records today. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, going on to the comments. We've got Aiden. What is he watching this on? Fox, bro. Watching on Fox. What else? JM lists the name. The Packers got killed by the Saints. Interesting times, right? Mike Wine said that's good. Let him play. Yeah, let him play. You know, I don't like to see a bunch of flags either, man. You know, unless it's called for, right? Like a true roughing the passer or a true defensive, pass interference or an offsides. Let them boys play, All right, what else we got? Black Hoodie 1, Dade County 305 Cowboys. Okay. Mark Courtney Ross, Chiefs all day, no matter what. I like the vibes. Lewis Lousy X Gamer, just watch the defense is coming. Okay. Let's see. Mahomes about to torch y'all, says Devin Hakai. All right. What else? Black Hoodie says Diggs pick 6.
Right, Joe Montana left San Francisco, and how about Mike McCarthy and the guys he's worked with? Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Dak Prescott.
Keep hitting that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
He played collegiately at nearby Baker, played tight end, got his first coaching gig anywhere at Fort Hays State. So he comes back here with some fond memories, but that's just nostalgia and history to him. He's trying to win a game, trying to get to 8-2, and I think trying to weather this early storm here on the road, which maybe the Cowboys did by getting on the board on that 60-yard drive. Bringing it out is Pringle. Good decision.
Bringing it out. He's going to make it too. He's still on his feet. Making it past the 30 to the 35.
And a 39-yard return season long for Byron Pringle. We showed you what the Cowboys have done so far
Flavio
this year. Now the Chiefs, they
Guzman
started
wants a
3-4.
Shout out to Flavio
Most
Guzman. What up,
turnovers
bro?
in the NFL through the first 7 games, but they've won their last 3. Scoring differential is big, and now they lead the AFC West. At 6-4, Chargers 5-4.
Joel, I got to keep the light.
5-4, Denver on a bye, 5-5. Here is a pass to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And a good start to this drive, but a flag comes in late. 12-yard catch and run by Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Van Der Esch missed a tackle along the way, and here comes John Hussey with the call.
Holding, offense number 65. 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
There's the penalty right there. That was an old-fashioned takedown by Trey Smith, the rookie.
Keanu Neal on the receiving end of that. But now it's 1st and 8 after that penalty was marked off. Fake the handoff. Mahomes sliding and finds Hill. And now he's one-on-one. Diggs shoves him out. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thank you, Joe. Cardinals, Seahawks. Colt McCoy making his 3rd start for the injured Kyler Murray. Flips that one to Zach Ertz for the 1-yard score. Cardinals strike first, 7-0. Joe?
The former Eagles, Zach Ertz, and the Eagles with another nice win today. They're 5-6 as they took apart New Orleans. 2nd and 8. Edwards-Helaire bouncing it and is brought down at the 40 by Basham. 3rd down coming up.
Well, we all know that Andy Reid, I mean, he likes to throw the football, and the Chiefs do it awfully well when they're rolling.
If you're not in the right region, you might not see it on your Fox.
Here in this first half, I mean, he's committing enough to the running game that he's keeping Dallas guessing just a little bit, but so many of these games come down to who wins on 3rd down.
Mahomes throws. Hill is left alone.
Hill is going to do the first down and more.
Down, Kansas City. 8-yard completion on 3rd down.
Well, they're anticipating man coverage. Anthony Brown is playing soft. They got the press on the inside, and Kelsey, as he comes off, he's able to push his man out of the way, and then Brown kind of gets lost. He's not able to drive on it, and a pretty easy 3rd down conversion for Kansas City. You can tell right now Dallas is playing some shell coverage. They've mixed it up a little bit, but they're just still a little bit tentative because of the speed that Kansas City has.
Here's a pass caught by Pringle inside
Big catch,
the 15.
Pringle.
A pump fake from Mahomes and a completion of 37.
Well, the Cowboys are trying to disguise their look a little bit, soft in the back end, and opens up a lot of field for Pringle to get open into that void.
His 23rd catch of the season, and a nice way for the Chiefs to end quarter number 1. 9-3 game. Back after this from your local Fox station.
All right, so David Reed says, I'm a Cowboy fan since 1963. Wow. I'm sure that's more than a lot of our viewers, and as far as how old we are. 810 viewers, guys. 233 likes. Let's get to 250. Let's get over 250 likes. 804 viewers. I need 17 people to go ahead and hit that like button. Get us over 250. Get us over 250. Hit that like button, y'all. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. All right, coming back to the votes, 687 votes. Dallas, 61%. Kansas City, 39%, which is interesting because they have the lead. All right. You've got Red Seal. It's not on the Pacific Northwest. So, yes, obviously, if you don't see this on your Fox, that means you're not in the right region. Tomb 99X just subscribed. Welcome to the family, bro. Mike Wine says, thanks for the stream. No problem. Rosie Grant, Cowboys fan since 71. Yo, I feel so young. I ain't even gonna lie. Cowboy fan since 71, says Rosie Grant. Okay. Devin Hakai, Missouri born and raised. Chiefs fan. Diehards in the building, y'all. Trevbot, if this dude is not endorsed by Pringles chips, he's playing the wrong game. Yeah, man. You gotta, with the last thing like Pringle, you gotta be endorsed by, for the chips. And they at least have to send you something for free, right? Like this free advertising. Because now we're thinking about chips. Definitely. What else we got here? Christina Latina, Chiefs Nation, baby. Okay. Vex Virtual, please score 5 touchdowns. And he's on his fantasy team, so that's why he needs that. It's a long shot, bro, but it's definitely possible. It could happen. Who knows? We've seen stranger things on Sundays, so.
As we get ready to start the second quarter, this Dallas defense a couple of weeks ago got shredded by the Denver Broncos. They came back with a good effort against Atlanta, but Kansas City through one quarter, 145 yards.
I see one of just subscribed. Welcome to the family, bro.
And they have a first down at the 14. Up by 6.
Mahomes deep pass to the end zone. That's going to be out.
And just out of the reach of Donovan Wilson.
Go back to that previous play, the big play to Pringle. They motion Tyreek Hill, and you're going to see Jordan Lewis and then Trayvon Diggs, and they both go to the flat. There with Tyreek Hill, and it opens up all that field, and Jreasn Kearse is trying to then cover that, and it's just not possible. Just a blown coverage, and it looked to me like Diggs probably the one who was expected to help get underneath that throw and give Kearse a little help.
Pass caught. Hardman.
He's going to make it to about the 1. I think his knee was down.
Of the end zone, but first and goal.
First and goal.
Let's take another look.
Paula, welcome to the family.
Elbows
Number
down.
73 is recorded as eligible.
Yeah, it looked like he was just short, Joe. And you talk about Denver and the way that they were able to get after Dallas. Part of that was self-inflicted by Dallas not tackling very well, and they haven't been tackling very well here in this first half yet either.
Mahomes is going to do a little flip pass.
Touchdown,
Hilaire for the touchdown.
And a flag in the end zone at the end of the play, and we may have another taunting call. Let's take a look at it.
They do a great job here of sealing the edge, and then it's 2-on-1.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25 for taunting. That penalty is a first in that category for number 25. If he has another foul, he will be disqualified.
Mr. Vash 47250 just subscribed. Welcome to the family.
Penalty on the try.
So that's going to push the try back. 3 possessions, 3 scores for Kansas City,
no problem,
pointing at Luke Gifford. And in this year where that's a point of emphasis, the taunting, that makes it easy on the official.
It does make it easy. I'm all for the emphasis on taunting. I just think we've gone a little too far with it.
Well, this is going to march the ball back to the 30. And now you're looking at an extra point try that is 48 yards.
It's going to be a record.
Well, I mean, it's a big call.
Absolutely.
They've already missed 1 extra point after having hit 53 straight. And this one, 48 yards away.
And the kick is
doesn't matter. Butker drills it. And this is a 16-3.
To 3. Kansas City 16. Dallas is 3. 3 points. 3 points. All right. 740 votes. Dallas is still in the lead at 61%. Kansas City at 39%. Coming to the comments, we've got MacMan. If they can't touch Holmes, they will win. Okay. All right. KC here. Wyandotte County. Tyndisbeh. Okay. Chiefs. Selena, what up? What's up, Selena? Good to see you. Ain't seen you in a while. Rockulum, both of these teams have Super Bowl wins in their history. Research for the win. Okay. Stephen Brown, we are on the road, so thanks for the stream. No problem. Thank you guys for being here. Edwin Caruthers, sorry Cowboys fans, NFL is rigged. I learned that the hard way last week when they said congratulations to 49ers for getting a 5th win in a row before they had the 5th win. We got some conspiracy theorists in the house. But listen, I have my beliefs too, man. Sometimes it gets interesting. It does. What do we got here? C. Trizzy, easy win for the Chiefs. Okay. Anna Maria Villarreal, hate Buffalo. Listen, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I get it. Your team probably, lost to us, and, it's a bitter pill to swallow. I get it. I had to take the loss today to the Colts. I didn't like that. I had to eat it. It is what it is. What do we got here? Oraculum, the media is fake news, big brother. Borderline politics, but we'll let it slide. Chris Moody, go Cowboys. Yeah, buddy. Okay, Red Seal, Lamb has to emerge. Selena. Yeah, Selena. Yeah, it was tough. And I actually went to the game today. I went to the game and had to experience that loss in person. So that was kind of sucked, to be honest. All right, guys, 725 viewers, 266 likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's get to 300. 300 likes, guys. That's the goal. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Back to the game.
Harrison Butker just hit the 48-yard extra point. Sees the wind knock the football off the tee. Troy, why don't you run down there and hold that for me on your birthday? That'd be a nice. That's my present to you.
Yeah, well, you're kind. You're the best gift I've gotten from you.
Well,
that's not true.
Butker's going to trust that ball. I would still be a little nervous. Just one gust of wind and you end up missing it.
Thanks a lot, Dewan. Welcome to the family.
That's why we're up here.
That's the goal, to get the 3 and then pass it.
Pollard from the 5. Gets tripped
Pollard
up.
tripped up at
and
the
that might have saved
23?
a big return as Mike Hughes got his hand on the foot of Pollard. Let's send it down to Tom Rinaldi.
Well, Joe, we've heard all season that taunting has been a point of emphasis. In this case, the literal point there from Edwards-Helaire. But if you think it's a point of chastising or consternation, you could see the exact opposite. In fact, Edwards-Helaire being celebrated there on the bench. I don't think the point really is carrying a lot of weight here in Kansas City right now, guys.
No, not the way they're playing with Eric Bieniemy in the middle of that. Here's a pass caught by tight end Sean McEwen.
McEwen's going to get about 2 yards.
And a gain of 3. We saw Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron, limp off last time the Cowboys had it. Any news on him?
Well, you see him over there on the sideline. This was earlier. Gosh. He came over to the sidelines after this move and pointed at his knee. It did look like he twisted his ankle. He pushed all trainers away. I'm standing by the heater where Zeke was just a couple minutes ago. He gave me a big smile and a thumbs up, so it says he's good to go.
All right. 2nd down and 7. Here's Pollard with a cutback. Tackles made by Melvin Ingram. picked up from the Steelers. His third game with Kansas City, no gain.
Well, this defense, you talked about it, Joe. If you just look at their numbers overall for the season, you'd say they're not very good against the run, but that's missing the point. Over the last month, this defense has been good, and they've been really good against the run. Now, granted, this is the biggest test that they've had of those games, but the early showing so far is they're up to the challenge. I mean, they have held up, and they've gotten after Dallas, and Dallas has not been able to get the running game going like they're accustomed to.
3rd down and 7. Quick throw. Gallup breaks one tackle and has a first down. Good effort by Michael Gallup in his second game back after missing 7 with a calf injury.
Well, it's set up really well. You see how Gallup, he pushes up the field, and then it allows Pollard to get there in a position to at least help and try to make somewhat of a block there on Rashad Fenton. But Gallup goes and gets it. And that's what's going to be required from each one of these skill players in order to move the chains.
During the huddle, the officials threw a flag. Here's a call.
12 in the huddle. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Dak Prescott was pleading his case the second the flags came out, but that makes it 1st and 15.
Well, just so far, it's just Dallas being a little disoriented. I mean, it's just these little mistakes. When you're in these kinds of games, those are just killers, and they're hard to overcome when you're playing a defense that's playing with as much confidence as this group is right now.
Here's a carry by Pollard, breaking one tackle and then forcing a few extra yards for 5 as he gets those 5 yards back. Saturday there are games, and then there's the game. It's the latest chapter in college football's ultimate rivalry. Ohio State, Michigan, number 4 against number 6.
Still have it set up, but I'm getting
the big noon Saturday game of the week coverage begins at 10 Eastern. The big noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. Then the game Saturday on Fox and the Fox
Thanks
Sports
a lot, official. Good to see you, man.
2nd and 10.
Thanks for the love.
Pass is caught somehow by Schultz. And Schultz has got another Dallas first down. Willie Gay had visions of a pick 6. Instead, it's 11 yards for Dallas.
Steve Spagnuolo has given a lot of different looks. He's going to rotate to 2. They're trying to get the safety then out of there as well. And so it's a 2-look ultimately is what they're getting to, but they're showing a lot of these things late at the snap. And it forces the quarterback then to really hang with it and make sure that what he sees pre-snap is what he's getting. But Spags is changing that up. So Dak has to adjust on the fly as well.
Good protection this time. And
Deep
this
pass,
one
and
is
that's going to be a drop pass.
Gallup got it knocked away by Snead.
He almost got it down.
And Troy L'Jarius Snead is becoming one of the better corners in this league.
He really is. He's a physical
Jonas,
player,
what's
too.
up, bro?
I mean, these are the kinds of things that I've seen him do. They've got a chance. Gallup has it. He has to extend himself, but he comes in and just knocks it loose. Trying to get a double move on CeeDee Lamb on the outside. They get Fenton to bite, and he has a chance. I think they're going into the wind, or at least the wind is affecting the throw down the field. I don't think Dak thought he could get it out there far enough.
TAQ 420 just subscribed. Welcome to the family, bro.
Here's Pollard wrapped up by Wharton. Tershawn Wharton met Tony Pollard in the backfield. It turns into a 1-yard gain, and Elliott's back out there for a 3rd and 9.
Well, what gives this Dallas offense some troubles is when they've got a defensive front that stunts and moves. And that time Wharton going up against Tyler Biadasz, he's able to make him miss, and he's just right in the backfield to make the play.
Prescott fires, passes, caught, and a nice grab by Schultz. Boy, Dalton Schultz really goes and gets the ball with his hands, and that for 16, but a flag is down in the backfield.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Boy, that's a killer holding call against Terrence Steele to erase that completion of 16.
Jonas,
Here he
hit
is,
my line,
the left
bro.
tackle. We thought there was a chance Tyron Smith
Hit
may
my
be
line.
playing today. He gets him on his heels. Frank Clark does, and then when you get out of position, that's what you do. You grab. You see, I mean, Frank Clark just bull rushes him, And then there's the pull. I would think right now, we'll see what Spagnuolo likes to do. He's showing coverage once again. You see the safeties
Charlie
back
Smith
here deep.
just subscribed. Welcome to the family.
I thought he might come after Prescott, force the ball out, but now they're going 3 across with the corners then on the outside.
Flag again.
Another
And a
flag
drop
and a
by
drop
Cedric
pass.
Wilson.
He probably picks up the first down. Now there's a flag, but if he catches that, he probably picks it up.
Prescott thinks it's against Kansas City.
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face. Defense number 38.
And that's a first down.
Automatic first down, 5-yard penalty.
Well, that's on L'Jarius Sneed. You see the hands to the face. It's a good call, and he is the most I talked about how physical he is and aggressive, but with that, then you risk getting a lot of penalties, and he has. He has the most penalties on this Kansas City's defense.
Well, Troy, you talked about Amari Cooper not being out there and how much they miss him. You can't not have Amari Cooper and not miss him. And we've seen a drop by Noah Brown early and now one by Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, and Cedric Wilson has made some big-time plays here this year at some big moments.
Here's Pollard. He crosses the 45. He gets 5 as Noddy brings him down, and Elliott back in there.
Yeah, Elliott's back on the field, and see how effective he can be with that ankle.
This game starts a 3 games in 12-day stretch for Kellen Moore and this Dallas Cowboys team.
Pass. That's going to be a drop. Oh my
Might have been a little behind.
It was in his hand. He bobbled it and dropped it.
But instead of a big completion, it's 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, this is a throw. Dak's just a little bit off on some throws. This went to the right guy. He's got a chance to Noah Brown and just a little bit behind him and makes for a tough play. I mean, he obviously can make that catch, but not where Prescott wanted to put it.
Now 3rd down and 5.
It's like they're coming off the slot here.
They are. Prescott throws. He got hit. And the pass broken up. Gallup the target, and Charvarius Ward there for Kansas City.
Well, he's trying to get it to the outside. They bring the blitz. If you're able to hang on to this ball, then you've got CeeDee Lamb there on Juan Thornhill. Now, he's got to get it out. So there's not really much of a shot. But a good job of Sneed, as I said, coming off that slot on the blitzer, and he's able to get home and get off the field.
Anger hits a beauty. And it is down inside the 10 by backup linebacker Francis Bernard. 46-yard punt. Chiefs have the ball and lead by 13 here at home.
Okay, so we got 844 viewers, 291 likes. Let's go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Push us over 300, 320. 320. 838 viewers. Go ahead and hit that like button. Push us over 300. We've got 869 votes. Dallas is still at 59%. Kansas City at 41. So it is kind of the margin's kind of closing just a little bit. And like I said, we've got 822 viewers, 297 likes. Hit that like button, guys. Get us over 300. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Joey Lonergan just subscribed. What's up, bro? Welcome to the family. Thanks a lot. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. We do this every Monday, Thursday, and of course Sunday. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. And then running to the comments, we've got Tanette Johnson. Come on, Dallas. We've got Money Blue. Did 41% really say the Chiefs were going to lose while we're winning right now? Crying face emoji. Joey Lonergan, you're the best. Thanks a lot, man. I do this for y'all. C. Trizzy, Chiefs is a lock, I believe. Okay. Can't do anything about it. This ain't live stream, bro. Show the game. Your name kind of fits with the narrative right now, bro. YouTube says that I can't show the game. So I'm going to refer back to your name. Can't do anything about it. It's that simple, bro. Copyright. Think Marlon Moments just subscribed. Thanks a lot, man. Welcome to the family. Marianne Willis, Chief Gal, says they know not what they be saying. Okay. Maurice Santos, new on here from New York. Go Dallas. New York in the building. Okay. Rodrigo Zambada, saludos desde Mexico, bro. What's up, bro? I hope I didn't butcher that. I know a little bit of Spanish, just a little bit. Paula, what's up, yo? You going ham in the comments? You all right? Christina Latina just subscribed. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the family. And getting back to the game.
To Travis Kelce, and it's not there.
You know, one of the things that Dallas has done here in this first half, seeing a lot of Micah Parsons there on the edge and try to get him in there and help out and see if they can help contain Patrick Mahomes and then hopefully even get home to him. But he draws a lot of attention and just hasn't had much success yet. We all know that what Dan Quinn has done for this defense. He's been terrific and probably the team MVP at this point in the season. Coming up with a big stop here would be huge to flip the field position, get the ball back to the offense with a chance to come away with some points. But they desperately need to make a stop and make it quick.
Mahomes fires, pass caught. Hill makes the move. Tyreek Hill doing what Tyreek Hill does.
Tyreek's balling today, y'all. He's hyped up.
Just seems at times, Troy, impossible to cover. And that one for 23.
Well, you're so hesitant. Watch right there. You got Anthony Brown who comes up, and you just don't run through the receiver because you're just worried that you're going to miss, and so you break down because of his quickness. And then he is so quick and has so much that you don't make the play anyway. It is really difficult to play against a guy like Tyreek Hill and even McCole Hardman.
Edwards-Helaire tries the right side.
Another run from Helaire for about 6 yards.
He's able to get to the 36 for 5.
Checking in from Brazil.
Dan
Thanks
Quinn
for the
better
game. No
figure
problem,
something
Zach.
out fast, as
Dan
you said,
Cooper, Washington
because
in the house.
Every time Kansas City's offense has been out there, they've put up points.
Well, in the defense for Dallas, they've been able to hang their hat on getting off the field on third down and then the takeaways. The takeaways have been an issue for Kansas City a good part of this year, but not over the last 2 to 3 games. And they've cleaned a lot of that up.
Hand off to Edwards-Helaire, and Clyde gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 1 as Leighton Vander Esch comes in to make the stop.
So now they get them now to third down. And like I said, this is where Dallas has been really good, and they're rotating these defensive linemen out. They're doing a lot of that. Hopefully they get into the fourth quarter with this still being a game, and if it is, then they've got some fresh pass rushers that can play at top speed. But these third downs become huge.
We got a 3rd and 4.
Kansas City 1 for 2 on third down as Mahomes
deep pass. That's going to be broken up.
With coverage by Donovan Wilson on Tyreek Hill. And the Dallas defense makes a stop.
Well, they go with a 3-man rush. They keep a spy in on Patrick Mahomes to help out. They're locked up across everywhere else, and Donovan Wilson is there, and he's able to make a play. That's tough duty on Donovan Wilson when you're being asked to run stride for stride with him. But a great job defensively of getting off the field on third down and giving their offense a chance.
Townsend will punt. Parsons almost got there. And Cedric Wilson backpedaling, brought down immediately by Fountain, who was just added for special teams with the absence of Marcus Kemp on the COVID list. Parsons almost came up with a big play. Cowboys do have it, down 13.
All right, so our score is going to be Dallas 3, Kansas City 16. Some scores from around the league. We've got the Bengals 10, Raiders 6, Cardinals 7, Seahawks 3, Ravens 16, Bears 13. I'm sorry, that's not going on right now. I don't know why it's showing in my list as active. Active games, Cardinals, Seahawks. Cardinals 7, Seahawks 3. Bengals 10, Raiders 6. And then, of course, Cowboys 3, Chiefs 16. 759 viewers, 313 likes. Let's go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Keep it going. Keep it going. And, of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Heading over to the votes again. It's really interesting. 920 votes. Dallas 59%. Kansas City 41%. And looks like the margin is still trying to favor Dallas. Nothing wrong with it. A lot of Dallas fans out there. I respect it. Coming to the comments. We've got Paula Bentley. I subscribed. Welcome to the family, Paula. Patrick Young. Go Chiefs, representing from Vancouver, Washington. All right. Zach's checking in from Brazil. Worldwide with it. Okay. Patrick Young, thank you for the stream. Fox showing Seahawks. Okay. Yeah, showing that game on. It goes by the region, bro. So if you're in a different region, you're probably going to get a different game. You're probably closer to Seattle. That's why you're getting that game there. D. Dobson, thank you for the stream. Thanks for being here. Roethlisberger is back tonight. Yes, he's been cleared for protocol, so he'll be back. Let's go. Let's see. Thank you for watching. Okay. Seahawks getting handled in that low-scoring game. Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, Russell coming back off his injury looks like it hasn't been too good. People definitely expected a different Russell Wilson or the one they've known, and it's not looking too good. Linda Eller, go Cowboys. And Dewan says, you got Cleveland, Ohio in the building. Okay, Cleveland, stand up. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's keep it going. And make sure you subscribe.
When Patrick Mahomes took him to the championship game and won the MVP. Handoff here and a gain of, let's say, 2 by Ezekiel Elliott. Chris Jones brought him down. Well, with this offensive line, Troy, with Terrence Steele at left tackle, Connor McGovern getting the start now with Connor Williams moved to the bench. Biotish, Martin, and Lyle Collins. They're getting beat here today so far by the Kansas City defense.
Yes, they are. And even on that last play, Kansas City, they're playing coverage, and so they're not loading up to stop the run. That defensive front doing a really good job. Here's a screen, and it's Schultz on a tight end screen. And none of the blocking can get out in front and do anything. Nick Bolton with pressure on Dak Prescott and a gain of just 3. Yeah, boy, here they come, and it looked like they might have something set up perfectly. Get the ball out quick. They're going to run the screen, and Tyrann Mathieu is right there. So that would have been a big blow had Tyrann Mathieu not been able to play in this game, but he really has been everywhere. He's given a lot of different looks in what he's doing. Here he is right back here, and he comes up around the line of scrimmage, and he's bailing out, but he's the guy who's changing up the disguises for Dak Prescott.
3rd down and 5. Quick throw. C.D. Lamb brought down.
C.D. Lamb brought down at the line of scrimmage. 3 and out.
And this is one disjointed offensive attack by the Dallas Cowboys.
This is a great play by L'Jarius Sneed. I mean, they got 2 guys initially that are going to be out there to play him, and it was that Cedric Wilson that is going to try to block him, and he's not able to at all. And so if they're able to make him miss, they've got a little something out in front of them. And I think even C.D. Lamb was a little surprised that L'Jarius Sneed, of all people, was the one that made the play.
Fair catch by Hughes. After a 48-yard punt, 3 of the 5 Cowboy possessions that failed to record a first down. Kansas City has it up 13.
All right. Dallas has came down a whole 1%. 952 votes. Dallas. Oh, it actually just went up as I said that. 59%. Kansas City 41%. Wow. Roberto Cruz Jr. says KC got their number today. And for the most part, that's what it's looking like, man. Fat Boy Productions. Every time I get excited for a game, the Cowboys always play like shiz. Yeah. That's how it is, right? When you get super excited about something, it kind of goes the other way, especially when it comes to sports, you know? It's like, oh yeah, I know the Bills are going to win today. I just know it. And then they get blown out. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. Elaine Beardsley. Elaine Lee from Victoria, Canada. Formerly from KC. Okay. Victoria, Canada in the building. Told you guys, we're worldwide. Worldwide. LeBron James. Big Ben over Mahomes. Okay. Mark Valenzuela. Sorry for your Bills, my brother. Jay Taylor beat y'all alone. I had the Bills winning big, but it's gonna bounce back. 4-touchdown game for Allen next game, bro. Showing love from Tucson. Man, much love for that. And I give respect when it's due, right? I mean, Taylor was just on another level today. And, he definitely was chopping through that defense, man. Don't forget to save, just subscribe. Welcome to the family. 9T8T4 says, Stephen A. ain't going to let this go if Dallas loses. Margarita Ortega just subscribed. Welcome to the family. Thanks a lot. 750 viewers, 326 likes. Guys, we need 400. We need 400 likes. The general rule of thumb is normally about half. We've been up to 800 viewers. We need 400 likes, y'all. Go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to save, says subbed. Thanks for the stream. No problem, bro. No problem whatsoever.
Great atmosphere, great tailgate. It's as good as it gets, really.
Place it open in 72 as Edwards-Helaire meets Keanu Neal, and Neal can't bring him down initially, a gain of 5.
Well, right now for Dallas, this is not their kind of game. I mean, this is a defense that when they can complement the offense, when the offense is scoring, they come out, they make a couple stops, in a half, and the offense is still able to go down and get a score and all that. When it becomes where they have to hold the score down because the offense is struggling, we see what happens like 2 weeks ago against Denver. This is an uncomfortable position for Dallas to be in.
Pass is behind and nearly picked. Flag is down.
Rob B.
Back where Mahomes let it go. Bro. Parsons thinks
there is a flag down.
Got a hold against Kansas City, and he did.
Holding. Offense number 65.
It's going to come back.
10-yard penalty. Second down.
Eastain Brook just subscribed. Welcome to the family, bro.
There's Parsons, number 11. They called it on Trey Smith, number 65. There's the grab on him as Parsons tries coming underneath.
Conduct. Offense number 65. After this goal. Down. That's the first foul in the category. 65. If he has another unsportsmanlike conduct, he will be disqualified.
So
now Patrick Mahomes goes in to get the explanation from John Hussey. That is 3 penalties today on the rookie Trey Smith. 6th-round pick from Tennessee, 7 on the year. And that is going to move the ball. I mean, you talk about a turning point in a half. Back-to-back penalties on a hold and an unsportsmanlike conduct for complaining about the hold, I assume.
Yeah, he said something that he shouldn't have.
And that makes it 2nd and 29. Quick throw, pass to Gordon, and he's brought down by Brown immediately at the 20. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson with a game break.
Thanks, Joe. Cardinals up 7-3 in Seattle. Colt McCoy drops the snap, but then finds Zach Ertz over the middle for his second of the day. Missed extra point. Cardinals leading 13-3, but Seahawks in the red zone. Joe?
Zach Ertz moves on to Arizona. Dallas Goedert gets a big contract extension, and there's a look at the NFC West. Arizona leading in their game and leading the division at 8-2. Third down and 23.
You see what Dallas is doing on the back end. Got
Mary
everybody
Johnson
deep.
just subscribed. Welcome to the family.
It's Williams.
Short pass to
looking for
Williams.
blocks. And knocked
he's going to be
down
short the
near
first
the
down.
33. It'll be fourth down.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, big penalty on the rookie Trey Smith.
Linda,
Backs
welcome
him
to the
up. They're
family.
not
Thanks
able to
a lot.
overcome it. And Dallas now going to get another chance before this half.
This will be a 30-second timeout. Will the game clock on here? Please set the game clock.
Dallas takes their first timeout with 2:48 left in the half as they're about to get it back down by 13 and back after this from Progressive.
Progressive presents At Home with Baker Mayfield.
Okay. So going back to the comments, we've got let's see. Diggs really needs an interception from Vex Virtual. P. Stain Brook, Dallas fan since 1970. Thank you for the stream. No problem. Junior, you gonna show the game or not? Sir, on YouTube we cannot show the game. You can probably go to any streamer on YouTube and they're not gonna show the game. Can't do it. YouTube rules will get banned. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it goes.
So this is an important possession coming up for Dallas.
What's up, Tanek?
As Wilson on the return looks for some daylight. And pretty well covered downfield by Lamons. 7-yard return. Dallas back to work. Thanksgiving Day will be back to work. The tradition on Fox continues. We come together for food, family, and football. The Bears take on the Lions. Coverage begins with a special edition of Fox NFL pregame show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. This drive starts at the 26. To Elliott, who plows through a bunch
Elliott's
of
back in the game. He's got to run for about 8 yards.
2.5 to go in the first half. Look at the possessions and how they've ended. Fumble by Dak Prescott. Second time the Cowboys had the ball. His 7th fumble of the season. His 4th lost. Prescott keeps. Is in trouble. Jones
Prescott
brings
is
him
down. Loss of 5 on the sack.
And that will likely take us to the 2-minute warning. And a loss of 4 on sack number 4 for Big 95. 2 minutes left in Kansas City. 3rd and long when we come back for Dallas.
All right, so 736 viewers, 343 likes. Hit that like button, you guys. Coming down to the comments. Cowboys fan since 86. Thank you for the stream. Come on, Dak. Play like last week. Houston, Texas in the building. Okay. Red Seal. Wow, where is all this defense coming from? Man, things are changing, right? It's a crazy time. Crazy day. You know, Colts defense was on it. Mike Kippy, Long Island. Okay, my New York brother. Yes, sir. New York in the house. And we've got Fat Boy Productions with 5 crying face emojis. I know it's tough out here. Coming back to the votes, we have 1,017 votes. Dallas is at 58%. Kansas City's at 42%. And I really expected to see a change considering the score. But Dallas is still holding on. So hopefully, you know, second half it gets interesting, right? They make it into a game. All right, so let's see. What do we got? Score updates. Bengals 10, Raiders 6, Cardinals 13, Seahawks 6. And that's where we're at. Cowboys 3, Chiefs 16. And then, of course, we've got the Steelers and the Chargers at 8:20. If you guys want to hop in the comments, tell me what you think about that one. Who do you got? Steelers, Chargers. What's going to happen there? Mike Williams said, today I bet strange. I bet every game under, every game so far. You do the math. Ooh. Wow.
Dak Prescott on a rollout here. La'el Collins, he's just got to seal the outside. Cannot get beat outside. If he loops around, instead, he takes a step inside. Chris Jones beats him up the field. If they get Prescott out on the edge, he had a 2-on-1 on the corner, and it would have been a pretty easy completion. But those are the little things that are the difference in a play of 10 yards or more down the field or taking a sack like they got just on that last play.
So third down now.
Back on the run, and he's going to run out.
Fourth down.
Going to lose about 9 yards.
And there is Chris Jones and Frank Clark again.
So 3 and out. And they're going to kick this thing off.
As Chris Jones comes flying off the field. Plays on third and fourth down, or second and third, rather.
And this time he goes to the other side, and he's lined up against Connor McGovern, who you said is making his start today for Connor Williams, and he beats him up the field and playing a lot more inside. Usually when you watch Chris Jones, early in the season he was playing outside at defensive end. As the season went along, he started then moving inside to defensive tackle. There he is, number 95, pushing the pocket, and then he's able to get after Prescott. Today he's been moving all over the place. He tries to fix this is what Reggie White used to do. He'd try to find the weak spot as to where he wanted to attack. We've seen him outside wide. We've seen him on both guards. Heck of a player.
Steve Spagnuolo, in many ways, is winning this first half with the job he's done.
Yes, he is. And this defense has just been, they've been more physical. They've really taken it to Dallas. And that's not, Dallas isn't accustomed to that. They're usually the ones dishing out the punishment. But Steve Spagnuolo has this defense. And like we said, yeah, they've been playing well, but the Giants were shorthanded. Packers were starting Jordan Love in his first NFL start, played the Raiders. This was their biggest test. So far, they've passed it with flying colors.
And short punt by Anger. Dallas offensively 6 possessions,
nice little
6 first downs, and
shoving going on the sidelines.
Breaks out.
I like it, little competitive spirit.
Rashad Fenton's in the middle of it, and they're going to throw a flag on that at the end.
There it is.
This is going to be another call against the Chiefs for that last effort by Rashad Fenton.
So Fenton and Godwin were going at it.
There's one call here with a face mask, we believe, and that might have been what started it. And then Fenton got a flag thrown against him at the very end of it. And that's why Fenton was upset.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting CBT number 27. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced when the ball went out of bounds. First down. This is number 27's first foul in that category. If he gets another foul in that same category, he will be disqualified.
You can see John Hussey backing away from Patrick Mahomes because Mahomes is saying, well, what about the face mask? And the crowd sees that now on the board, and they can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't either. I thought that'd be offsetting.
As it is, just 3 now unsportsmanlike conduct calls. And that will get a flag every time.
We expected this game to be chippy, though, right? Like, it had to be chippy.
C.J. Goodwin gets away with a face mask for the moment, and now the officials are going to get together, and they may right this wrong.
Yeah,
Mike Pereira's is something they can undo and fix.
Well, they really can't. I mean, you cannot put a penalty on for a face mask penalty coming from New York. I mean, that's not one of the things.
After discussion, we determined that there was a face mask by the kicking team.
Wow.
As a result,
okay.
we will offset both penalties at the 45.
So now they call the offset.
Number 27 still is in the book for an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Mike?
Yeah, and at this, I get it. They want to get it right, but you really can't use the video system or the replay official to actually add something on that's not a reviewable category. And this is obviously not a reviewable category, the grabbing of the face mask. But it's like taking the technology to another level to eventually get it right on the field.
Well, they saw it on the board here in Kansas City. They saw it on the video screen, and they just kind of added the face mask after the fact. And that brings the ball back to the 45. Mahomes throws incomplete for Kelsey. Cowboys still have 2 timeouts left if they can get a stop here as you look at the offense that has been slowed down here the last 2 possessions by Kansas City.
Well, it's awfully difficult on your defense when Kansas City's starting the ball with some of the field position that they've had. And if they're able to come up with a stop here and not surrender any points before the half, hats off to them.
Mahomes under
pressure. He's going to be sacked and lose the ball.
And the
Cowboys come up with
How
it.
about the rookie Micah Parsons? What a play as Basham comes away with the ball. This kid is spectacular.
Well, Dan Quinn wanted him coming off the edge so he can make these kinds of plays when Mahomes tried to escape the pocket.
Number 11, the first-round pick from Penn State, makes a play the Cowboys desperately needed.
Well, no. So I definitely wouldn't write the Cowboys off. I mean, 100%, right? Defense is stepping up. They're making it interesting. They just got the ball back. And we got 1:32 left in the second quarter. So things can definitely get interesting. We've got 813 viewers, 360 likes. Guys, let's get this up to 400. I need 40 of you guys to go ahead and hit that like button. Get us to 400. 800 viewers, we can do it. I believe in you guys. Also, if you have not already subscribed, make sure you do. Click that subscribe button. You'll be updated with streams just like this. Monday, Thursday, and of course Sunday, football day. But yeah, 40 more likes, guys. Let's get to 400. 40 more likes. Let's get to 400. And make sure you subscribe. All right. 1,074 votes. We've got 57% Dallas, 43% Kansas City. And then, of course, coming over to the comments, we've got Jim Mooney. Cowboys will do it. Okay. Selena, Wrench Gang in the house. Micah, of course. Lane, come on, boys. Go Dallas. How you doing, Lane? What's up? Beth Lapine says no with like 12 O's. Thomas Garcia, that fumble is crucial. Yeah, that changes the dynamic. ZDHX, Chiefs are getting bailed out by the refs. Adventure Vlogging and Reactions, subscribed. Thanks a lot, man. Welcome to the family. Christina Latina says, dang, y'all always hurt. 3 crying face emojis. Jim Mooney says, last time I was able to watch this channel, I was telling people at the beginning of the game that Dolphins would beat the Ravens and nobody would believe me. Cowboys, and Cowboys. All right. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We need 12 more to 400. 12 more. We hit our goal of 400, guys. Back to the game.
If Thornhill's not able to make that play, there was a bit of a convoy.
Prescott sets up fast and throws. Pass caught by Schultz. And we'll see where they mark it. Very close to first down yardage. And let's find out what's coming up at the half.
Coming up on the Verizon halftime, we'll have highlights from
Lane, I'm a fan of all teams.
We'll dump out of that on third down and less than 1. We'll just find out when it happens. Prescott throws. C.D. Lamb, first down.
Lamb with the catch. And Dallas,
first down,
hurry up.
I thought they might use one of their timeouts there, but not in any rush. They're going to keep them in their pocket. They can work the middle of the field.
Prescott deep pass, and that's going to be picked off.
Intercepted by Ward.
And that's going to seal the second quarter for Dallas.
What a play by Ward, and that was absolutely forced by Dak Prescott.
Well, it was forced, and I think not using the timeout, you feel that a little bit as a quarterback. You're going to take the shot then. And they do, and it's just perfectly played then by Charvarius Ward. Ball's a little bit underthrown, doesn't get it up over the top. He's in a great position. A lot of these corners just never turn to make a play on the ball. He plays it perfectly, and Lamb then trying to play defensive back, unable to strip it. I mean, just a great opportunity offensively for Dallas with outstanding field position
it was there, man.
After the turnover that Dallas
nice
defense
pass,
creates.
Ward just got
and Kansas City comes right back and matches.
Charvarius Ward, originally signed by the Cowboys, 50th career game, and that's his 3rd interception, first of the year, and what a play. As this play is made by Basham, who came away with a fumble recovery a moment ago as he knocks down Darrell Williams. Verizon halftime is coming up. And it's coming up now.
And we're at halftime, guys.
These Chiefs and their fans.
We need 9 more likes. 9 more likes. Get us to 400. 9 people hit that like button.
Stats brought to you by State Farm as we look at a quarterback comparison. There are the numbers for Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. 3 turnovers between them, each with a fumble, and now Prescott with the interception. So it's halftime with a score 16-3. Stay tuned. The Verizon halftime coming up after this. And a word from your local Fox station.
All right. 6 more likes, guys. We hit 400 likes. Doing a great job. Thanks a lot. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. We do this Monday, Thursdays, and of course Sunday. Going back to the comments, we've got Lewis. Give us a reason to hit the like button. Man, I thought streaming this was a reason. All right, maybe not. I also give away money. I think that's a reason to like. Not on this one, but if you're subscribed, you'll know. Give away money. We're giving away a PS5. We might do that for like right around Christmas time. So make sure you lock it in. That should be a reason to like. All right, so we got in the comments, Dak needs to calm down. Yeah, he's got to take his time. I think he definitely forced a couple of passes. Where we at? Vex Virtual, throw it out of bounds. Don't force it. Yeah, he's been forcing it. Jeff Hobbs, a.k.a. D&D, just subscribed. Welcome to the family, bro. Welcome to the family. He forced it and paid the price. Auden, who had the ball first? Dallas did. Chiefs get that ball after halftime, guys. So, yeah. Yes, Selena. PS5. We're going to do a PS5 giveaway. It's going to be huge. It's got to be the right game. It's got to be the right game, and we got to have enough viewers and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be crazy. I want it to be real crazy, you know. So, what's up, Philip? Jonas says it's not over yet. A whole other half, only down by 13. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Doris Edmond, my grandson could use that PS5. Yeah. It's when we did the World Series stream, we had over like 7,000 people in here, and we gave away $200, and it was fun. It was real fun, real interactive, and I definitely liked the way that went. So we're gonna keep that same ambition going. We'll keep it going.
No touchdowns allowed, 3 sacks, and 2 turnovers created. That's how you get a big lead. As we welcome you to the Jreasn halftime.
Mars Cal says, I'm going to be driving through Dallas at the end of the game. Please pray for me.
Cincinnati
Keep Mars Cal in your prayers, guys.
Raiders, Las Vegas. Joe Burrow, the quarterback, handing off to Joe Mixon. He takes it outside, turns on the speed, breaks the plane at the goal line. A good football game, 13-6. It is the Cincinnati Bengals of the Las Vegas Raiders at the half. Cardinals are at the Seahawks. Kyler Murray there without the uniform will miss his 3rd straight game with an ankle injury. Colt McCoy, shovel pass. Zach Ertz, 1-yard touchdown. 7-0 Arizona. And then the quick slant. McCoy to Ertz there. He gets inside the corner. There is no help inside. He got a nice void there. Pops the ball in. They do mix the extra point.
Albert
Arizona
Salvatore
does.
says, let's go Cowboys. Represent from Branson, Missouri.
At the half. Earlier, the Vikings
Devora, just subscribe. Welcome to the family.
Knocks off Carolina. Philadelphia rolls past New Orleans. Cleveland keeps Detroit winless. San Francisco gets to 500. Indianapolis thump Buffalo in Buffalo. Baltimore wins on a late touchdown. Houston stuns Tennessee. Their first win since week 1. And the Dolphins take care of the New York Jets. All right, Michael. Dak Prescott, arguably the worst first half he's had, but a lot of that is credited to this Kansas City defense.
Yeah, it's the defense. It's not just Dak Prescott. You got to protect Dak. I mean, there's no way that you can let this guy get sacked. Frank Clark there, strip sack. Here, they're going to bring 7. This is hard to pick up. He needs to get the ball out quick, and they see Snead just put the pressure on him, and you have the overthrow. And Chris Jones, arguably, I mean, what an unbelievable athlete for a big man. The best defensive lineman that they have there in Kansas City. He's having one heck of a game. If they keep pressure on Dak, then I just think this offense will never get traction.
Yeah, sometimes you forget how talented this Kansas City team is. They're up for this ball.
It's like they woke up out of nowhere.
You know, they took zone, moved him outside. Now they moved him back into the tackle.
A lot of people are going to wake up happy, or they've got a chance to. 3 people still alive to win $100,000 of Terry's money in our Fox Bet Super 6, depending on what happens here the rest of the day. All right, Verizon played on the first half. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a touchdown for the Chiefs. Some of you get local news after this. Others, come on back. We got more highlights for you.
What's up, Matt Jones?
This Black Friday, get the amazing...
All right. We've got Albert Salvatore. Let's go Cowboys. Represent from Branson. Jim Hubert, I'm in Seahawks country. Okay. Not too bad of a game, but Cowboys definitely need to come back hungry. Fat Boy Productions, yeah, man, they got to get hungry. That's the only way we're going to win. Isaac Rivas, Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Okay. Christina Latina, Chiefs are the GOAT after the second half. This was a warm-up, G. Man, we got diehards in the chat, yo. It's crazy. We all know that Dallas fans are diehards, but the Chiefs diehards fans are in the building too. They came to play today. What's up, Drip? All right, so we got 588 viewers, 403 likes. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And you'll stay updated with streams just like this. And also make sure you hit that little bell so you're updated instantly. It's a little bit of a process, but I can walk you through it if need be. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and you'll be notified as soon as I start the stream so you don't miss out on anything. Jim Hubert, I'm a unicorn around here. I like the Hawks, but my team is Chiefs. Okay. Lalo says, I'm disgusted with the Cowboys. They never fail to disappoint me. Wow. No faith in your team, huh? Gotta have faith. See, Cerilli, can you synchronize the audio with play-by-play? Okay, so there's always been like a question about this. So, like, if you're not used to watching it, what happens is the play-by-play is always instant, right? That's, like, literally instant as the play's happening. And then, of course, the commentating, like, at the game itself are on a delay. It's, like, normally, like, a small delay. So that can't be fixed by anything that I'm doing. Trust me, I've got great equipment to provide you guys with great sound and, all this great stuff that I have running to make sure everything runs smooth on my end. But as far as the stream itself, the commentation is going to be just a little bit behind the play-by-play because that is instant. Chris the Legend, who do you think is going to win? I want Dallas to win. That's my pick. But the Chiefs are rolling, man. Dallas, their defense is stepping up, but their offense just isn't moving the way that it needs to at this point. So definitely needs to, make a change. Their offense has to start clicking, without a doubt. So, Bankroll Bando 901, Chiefs Nation. Lalo says Chiefs easily winning by 50. Ethan Biddinghoff, thank you for keeping it clean. Yeah, man, I have to. And I'll tell you why. So I think I got a little over like 10,000 subscribers. And you guys are from everywhere. I've got younger people on here. I've got middle-aged. I have older people. So it's got to be clean, right? The chat's got to be clean. Within, you guys can have fun. I'm not trying to beat you up about language and stuff for the most part. I'm not trying to tell you what you can and can't really say. But, strong language, obviously you don't want to have that. Just keep that to like a minimum. The bullying, obviously what good fun is. It's keep it in good fun. But yeah, we've got people from all over the world, Brazil, Paris, Thailand, England. If you're on the stream, like there's people from everywhere, so it's not just like a few people in here. There's thousands, so we got to keep it clean for the most part. And that's why a lot of people stick with me because, I do it that way. Look, Edgar, Mexico, people from everywhere, so much love. What do we got? Jim, how can I subscribe on my phone? So if you exit out of the chat, just hit the X button on your phone. You should see a subscribe. You should see a subscribe button. Drippy said you got to go. Okay, bro. See you in the next one. Jerry Davis, another Super Bowl win for Kansas City. Okay. It's a long road, bro. It's a long road. Terrell Elliott says Dallas is not a real team. Yo, y'all be saying some of the craziest stuff in the chat. It's just so funny. Terrell, who's your team? If Dallas is not a real team, who's your team? Terrell Elliott, who's your squad? Drippy, yeah, I'll be on, bro. I'm not going nowhere. So you dissing your own team? It's crazy. Jim Hubert, thanks a lot, man. No problem. Welcome to the family. 100%. Going over to the votes, we had 1,176 votes. Dallas is 56%. Kansas City 44. So the gap is definitely closing. Terrell Elliott is dissing his own team. All right. I get it. I think you're just a little aggravated because of what's going on. But, you still got a whole half left. The game's close enough to where it can, go any way at this point. So keep your head up, brother. Keep your head up. Jen Driscoll says, y'all act like the Chiefs are a good team. Man, y'all going at it today. Y'all going at it. 559 viewers, 407 likes. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, of course, you'll be updated with streams just like this. Monday, Thursday, and, of course, Sunday. I also stream baseball and basketball. Try to mix it up with the sports. All right.
Kansas City offensively had over 200 yards of offense there in the first 30 minutes, but they all came on the first 3 drives. The Dallas defense did their part and made some big stops. Steve Spagnuolo did it for 30 minutes. Dan Quinn did it for the last 20. And now they're going to have to start this second half trying to come up with a stop again.
Make it back to about the 25.
Let's check in down on the field with Tom Rinaldi.
Well, Joe, talking with Andy Reid on his way in at halftime, he said he was pleased with the defense overall, in particular the pressure they're getting on Dak Prescott, giving him different looks, limiting his production. But as for his team's overall composure, he was blunt. Obviously, it's a problem, referring to the unsportsmanlike conduct, one he planned to address with his team at the break. We'll see how that takes shape here in the second 30, guys.
We have 3 different times called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Mahomes out of the shotgun, throws it away. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Joe, I walked into halftime with Mike McCarthy, and I asked him about the first thing he would address with his team, and he said really the entire operation. For his offense, he did say the noise seemed to be an issue. Then he mentioned the wind, and then he said we simply just couldn't get anything going. He was happy with the fact that Micah Parsons was able to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, but he said we couldn't do anything with it. This is a shot going into halftime of CeeDee Lamb, obviously needing some help. We have not seen him back out here. I'll let you know when I get an update from Dallas.
All right, Aaron, thank you.
Subscribe and like, it's free. Doesn't cost a
thing.
Mike
McCarthy is working over the officials, asking for an intentional grounding call against Mahomes on that throw out of bounds. The answer was Tyreek Hill, they said, was in the area. Here's a pass underneath, and it's caught by the tight end Noah Gray, the rookie from Duke, his 4th catch of the year for 8. Third down coming.
Yeah, such a good job there by Patrick Mahomes, and just buying a little bit of time. A lot of quarterbacks that aren't as patient would have probably ended up just throwing that away, but he hangs in there and he's able to find the completion to bring up a 3rd and short.
Kansas City just 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. Mahomes keeps and
run for about
reaches out
a yard. They're going to give him the first down.
35. And it appears that's enough for a first down. As Dorrance Armstrong gets into it with Travis Kelce. Tackle made by Jordan Lewis, but the effort by Mahomes was enough, it looked like.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yep.
I mean, that's just great awareness by Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he stopped short.
He got it.
Well, right now, they've got the ball just the nose on the 35, and they're going to call it a first down anyway. But it looked like he got it no matter what.
Yeah.
It was a really good tackle by Lewis. It was a better play by Patrick Mahomes.
Mike McCarthy's still a little hot about not getting that intentional grounding call on first down.
Game clock to 13:45, please. 13:45. Thank you.
Let's go back to the no call on intentional grounding, which is a big no call on the first play of this drive.
Trev's on it.
Yeah, he's definitely within the pocket, and I don't blame Mike McCarthy for being upset at all.
We'll check in with Mike Pereira if time allows. Pass is to Kelce.
Kelsey's going to catch it.
Doesn't allow to the 41. His first catch of the game, and it's good for 24.
Well, they got Tyreek Hill on the outside. His speed is what opens this up for Travis Kelce. You can see what Tyreek Hill does to Trayvon Diggs and turns him around to where his eyes then are not at what's coming underneath of him, and he's not able to come off and then make a play on Kelce. that's what happens. I mean, you create a lot of area to work. And with Tyreek Hill and Kelsey coming underneath, it doesn't get much better.
Kelsey at 32 years old, as good as ever, trying to set up the screen, and there's nothing there. Edwards-Helaire was close enough for no grounding there, and it's 2nd and 10. Let's check in with Aaron Andrews on an update on CeeDee Lamb.
Well, Joe, we saw CeeDee go into halftime. It looks like he needed some assistance there. Dallas has finally come out and said he is out of this game with a head injury, already out with Amari Cooper. This doesn't help them trying to get back into the game.
Yeah, so they're down to Gallup, Noah Brown, Cedric Wilson, and Malik Turner on the outside.
Yeah, and then you've got a banged-up Ezekiel Elliott trying to run the football, who's been ineffective.
High snap, handoff to Edwards-Helaire, and
going to get about 7 yards in the run, but there's a flag
down on the play, and a hold coming up against Kansas City.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Against Tooney, the left guard. This, as we said, is the first game of 3 in 12 days. So they know that receiver Amari Cooper will miss the first 2, and now CeeDee Lamb is out for the rest of the game after banging his head on the grass in the end zone.
Well, there's a lot of discussion each week as to what team do you like to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and there's just still so much football left to be played, and a lot happens, as we know, from one week to the next with injuries and a whole number of other issues.
Here's pressure on Mahomes. Steps up, fires,
gets it off.
Caught by Kelsey.
Kelsey again.
Diggs on the stop. 3rd down coming up. 14 yards to Travis Kelsey.
Well, Patrick Mahomes, he's certainly feeling the pressure off of that right edge, but he's able to step up in the pocket, buy a little bit of time, and deliver a good ball. You know, this looks a little bit like what they were able to do on that opening drive to start this game when they marched down the field and came away with a touchdown. Pretty deflating for Dallas defensively if they do the same here on this to open up this 3rd quarter.
Mahomes fires, passes.
Pass is picked off.
Intercepted.
Dallas has the ball. And they're going to get it back to the Kansas City 35. What a change of events.
And now 2 takeaways by each team after a 34-yard return. The Cowboys are in business.
How about that? Travis Kelsey came into this game leading the team in drops. He had 6 coming in. That's his 7th, and it results in an interception, which should have been a 1st down. And Kearse right there to make a play on it. What a momentum swing for the Dallas defense. It's what they needed to have. You're going to see him on the slant route. He wins inside, and the ball is just on the back shoulder, but Kelsey makes that play all day long. And what an opportunistic play by Kearse.
The 11th interception thrown by Mahomes. That one off the hands of Kelsey. Starting at the 36 with Elliott.
He's going to run for about 3 yards.
A carry of 3 yards with Jaron Reed on the tackle.
Well, I thought this before the end of the first half, that if this Dallas offense is what we think they are, you see Travis Kelsey just frustrated with himself. But if the Dallas offense is what we think that they are, or what they think that they are, they needed to come away with points there at the end of the half. And I'll say the same thing here. If this offense is the best in football, as so many believe, they've got to cash this in for a touchdown.
No CeeDee Lamb, no Amari Cooper. And now pressure on Prescott. And while the Chiefs look for a grounding call, they're not going to get it. It'll be 3rd down.
3rd and 7 coming up.
They just keep winning in the trenches. Kansas City.
So I'm looking at this weird thing right now. The Bengals had 16 and the Raiders had 6. The Cardinals have 16. The Seahawks have 6. Cowboys have 3 points. The Chiefs have 16. Is anyone else looking at that and realizing how weird it looks? Or is it just me?
Pass is caught on a nice grab this time by Cedric Wilson.
Those are some of the plays that Cedric Wilson has made. Now, Dak has just been off because this ball is not well thrown, but Wilson goes down and makes a play for his quarterback, and that's what you need to have. Really nice work by Cedric Wilson. He's got sure hands. He can make the tough catch, but it shouldn't have been that tough.
16-yard completion. Wilson just one snap last week against Atlanta, bothered by a bad shoulder. Here's Elliott. Bounces it out to the right side of his offensive line and picks up 5 on first down. As he runs behind Collins and Martin. Again, the Cowboys playing without Tyron Smith, the 7-time Pro Bowl left tackle. And they've moved Williams to the bench, Connor Williams, and they're starting Connor McGovern at left guard. Here is a push pass, and that'll be incomplete. That is a pass and incomplete to bring up third down.
Well, the timing just a little bit off. The ball ends up getting a little bit high on Cedric Wilson. You try to time this out, but this got close. You can see where he's going to have to try to catch it. Just a little bit up right around the face mask. Unable to get a hold of it, but that's why they do it the way that they do. So that if you're not able to handle that exchange, it's an incomplete pass.
Third down and 5 now.
Prescott going for the end zone. That's going to be off. A lot of contact. No flag.
Was the target, no flag, and it's fourth down. Let's take a look at this contact.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. It sure looked like there was enough at the top of it, and there definitely was. The official's right there looking at it, and he didn't think so, but you know, McCarthy, that's a couple calls now that haven't gone Dallas's way.
Be a 30-yard try as a result by Zerline. Ten-point game.
Kick is good. Dallas 6 points.
So the interception by Jaron
16.
Kearse leads to 3. 10-point game in Kansas City.
All right. So you guys can't tell me this isn't weird. It was just 16-6 Raiders. It's currently 16-6 Cardinals Seahawks. And now it's 6-16 Cowboys Chiefs. Now, to my conspiracy theorists out there, tell me this isn't weird. Tell me it's not weird. Come on now. I mean, come on. It was Bengals Raiders 16-6. All within, like in the third quarter, right? Cardinals 16-6. And now Cowboys 16-6. It's weird. It's a weird coincidence. I'm not saying nothing's going on. I'm just saying it's a weird coincidence. That's all. Just like last week with all the blowouts. It's a weird coincidence. We'll leave it at that. Casey says, huh? All right, I'll give you guys one more time. Just a moment ago, the Bengals and Raiders game was 16-6. The Cardinals and the Seahawks right now are 16-6. And the Cowboys and Chiefs are 16-6. So, just some interesting stuff going on. Mike says, dude, I told you it's a wag day. I just bet everything under Trip City. Yeah. Yeah. James says, you can't win at sports betting. Unbeatable with the rake. Mike Partner, Las Vegas. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big money line guy myself, and when I see stuff like this, man, it just looks interesting to me. It definitely does.
World champion, 5-time All-Pro selection, Hall of Famer, earlier this week announced that he's been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And one of the all-time greats, a nose tackle who used his skill as the NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion to redefine the way to play over a center, and a key contributor to that Super Bowl IV victory with the Kansas City Chiefs.
An amazing guy.
We send our best as Byron Pringle will return it.
Pringle's going to have space, still on his feet, passing the 30. Going to make it to about the 36.
And a season-long 39-yard kick return by Byron Pringle.
What a nice job. You know, when you start looking at games like this, who's going to win in the kicking game, and to be able to set them up, you know, just continues to put pressure on this Cowboys defense. You know, they've been able to get the takeaways on the turnovers they've gotten. They set Dallas up offensively before the half, and then on that last possession, and Dallas only comes away with 3 points on those 2 drives.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, 3 drives. Troy ending inside the Kansas City 30, and the Cowboys have come away with a total of 6 points.
Yeah, and it's this defense by Kansas City. They've been smothering. They've been everywhere. It's gotten Dak a little bit out of rhythm. He hasn't been able to throw the ball as accurately as what we're used to seeing from him. Their longest completion of the game is just 16 yards. That was a big play offense that's not there.
There's Parsons. He's got his second.
That's going to be a sack.
He leads all rookies in the sack department, and he is just a handful.
He is. This time Orlando Brown gets assigned the responsibility of trying to slow him down. You see that speed. Orlando Brown is a big man, and when you put speed of Parsons against that, the speed wins on this play.
8 sacks for the first-round pick from Penn State. Most by a Cowboys rookie since the great DeMarcus Ware. Here's pressure on Mahomes.
He throws it away.
In the direction of Darrell Williams.
3 and out.
With Curse right there. 4th down.
This Dallas defense, you know, throughout a good part of the year early on, you know, hey, can they get pressure on the quarterback? Do they have to bring blitzers in order to get to him? They're without Randy Gregory. They're without DeMarcus Lawrence. Their top 2 pass rushers. A 4-man rush, and they're affecting the pocket. Parsons has been back there a good part of the day. Dorrance Armstrong, you love the hustle.
Cowboys have blocked 3 punts on the year and have come close twice in this game. The punt by Townsend into the end zone, and that is the first touchback of the season for Townsend.
All right, so now I'm just saying, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist at all here, but I'm just saying, what if all teams that were down come back and win against all these teams who has 16 points? I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. You got the Bengals 16, Raiders 13. You got the Cowboys 6, Chiefs 16, Cardinals 16, Seahawks 6. It's interesting. Christina, man, I'm really thinking about paying for this Game Pass because seeing it and hearing it is so different. Yeah. I mean, listen, you know, if you got the money for it, spend it. You know, that's my motto. You know, if I want it, I'm going to buy it. Royal says, when I was 14, a dishwasher, I made a bet with a cook that Detroit would win against Dallas. I gave him 35 points. Detroit won 37-0. What? Yo, that is crazy. Yeah, Trev, check the money lines for me, bro. It's got to be something weird. It's got to be. Check the money lines. Because I think Cowboys is like plus 120. I know that for a fact. It's like plus 120 for the Cowboys. Christina Latina, we at home, no way. She's like, I don't, that's why. Well, listen, maybe, on one of these streams we're giving away money. Make sure you're there and, you might have a chance and then you could go buy that Game Pass. It's a little plug to get everyone to subscribe. Make sure you guys go and hit that like button. Michael Jurg, listen to this. Before the third quarter was over in the Colts-Bills, the box score had minus for Colts and had 0 for Bills. It wasn't even over. Something for you conspiracy theorists. Yeah. Some weird stuff going on, man. I'm just saying, if all the teams that were down, when all these other teams had 16 come back and win,
20 down by 10 now. Here's Wilson out on the edge. And a decent play on first down as Matthew makes the stop.
Well, you'd like to think, Joe, that the Cowboys with that offensive front and Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, that they'd be able to start imposing their will a little bit and start pounding the ball and be a little bit more efficient with that. And they open up this drive with a throw, but I would think that if they're going to really make this a contest,
Kansas City in the
we're gonna
building.
see a lot more of Ezekiel Elliott in this ball game running it.
Here he is here. Cuts back. 2 yards short of a first down. Time to take a look at today's top targets, brought to you by Target. And Tyreek Hill, 6 for Kansas City. CD Lamb, 4 for Dallas. But he's out with a concussion.
Definitely shorthanded at wide receiver. So what was already a challenging day, trying to get separation against this secondary, has gotten a lot more difficult, which is even more reason why you try to lean on the big back Elliott.
3rd down and 2. Here he is out of the backfield and a strong
He's going to be short. That's a 3 and out.
That'll bring up 4th down and bring the punt team on for Dallas. What a good piece of work by the Chiefs defense.
Well, it really was. Schultz is supposed to try to pick him off, by the design of the route, a natural pick, only he's not able to do it. If he slows that down a little bit, now it's a possible to where Elliott has that, and he's one-on-one, who got passed off by the guy covering then Schultz, who was Rashad Fenton. But just an outstanding open field tackle.
Still got plenty of time to
Cowboys
play
pass
some good
game
football.
not doing anything. Here's a fair catch by Hughes. Just 2.5 yards per pass play for the Dallas Cowboys in this game. Chiefs back to work on offense after a 48-yard punt, leading by 10.
America.
All right. So what do we got? What do we got here? 639 viewers, 423 likes. Let's go ahead and get to 450, guys. We need 26 more likes, and we'll hit 450. 26 people. Go ahead and hit that like button and get us to 450. All right. Trevbot. All the teams with 16 points are at minus 110 to minus 120 on the money line. Makes it interesting, right? Makes it real interesting. All right, going to the votes. What are we at here? 1,286 votes. Dallas is at 55%. Kansas City at 45%. So that margin is closing in. It's definitely closing in. We're almost at the 4th quarter, so I definitely think if the game gets close, obviously, it's gonna start to pull together. Going to the comments, we've got Jody Lanes, Kansas City in the building. James Rises, Cowboys still favored to win. The polls don't lie. Okay. Anthony Black, Cowboys Nation. Michael Jurek, yo, bro, how long you been doing these streams? I'd say unofficially been doing it for like 3 years. Just started taking it serious a year ago. Started with the Super Bowl 49. It was Super Bowl 49. I just like put it up. I ended up getting like 10,000 like viewers and like 500,000 views. It was crazy. I was like, oh, people actually do want to just listen to the game because some people don't have access to it. Some people just like to be a part of a chat and community. You know, they don't just like watching the game by themselves, or, you know, some people are driving home, or some people are at work and they don't have access to video, and it just worked out. So, kind of stuck with it. But yeah, I started taking it serious about a year ago. Royal, did you do Thursday night game? No, I didn't do Thursday night. I had some family stuff going on. But I will do this Thursday. Thanksgiving Day. We on.
Clark Hunt, his son, chairman and CEO now of the Chiefs, 3 straight AFC title games.
Pass to Kelce up the middle.
And back-to-back Super Bowls. Travis Kelce's been a big part of that. And he's been getting a lot of attention from Mahomes, who's been looking for him this one for 22.
Yeah, it comes right back to him after the drop interception that we saw earlier, just a blown coverage. And you just wonder how long can this defense hold up for Dallas. They've made 5 straight stops. 2 of those have been takeaways. Dallas comes away with just a few points off of those, but this is a tough offense, and I don't know how long they can hold up against them.
Here's Hill.
Comes a pass to Hill.
And a nice grab, and then darts out of bounds.
Keith Reed, just
another
subscribe.
Kansas
Thanks
City
a lot,
first
bro.
down, it appears.
Welcome to the family.
Went out right at the marker, and it is first down.
They're just so explosive, and just trying to corral that. I mean, like I said, after the first few possessions that Kansas City had, this defense, they tightened things up, and they haven't given up much. And considering how much their offense is struggling, they realize they can't afford to give up anything more.
You hear Mahomes shout out cover 2. Here's Hardman.
Short pass to Hardman, and he's still on his feet. First down.
Diggs couldn't bring him down. And got good blocks from Kelce and Hill. Normally catching passes, and they helped Hardman get 12.
Yeah, Kelce and Hill, you see him here. Tyreek gets the first one, and then there goes Kelce doubling up to the next guy.
Great piece that Kurt Menefee did with Travis Kelce that aired in the pregame show today. Philanthropic, big heart. Does a lot in this community. Great guy. Under 5 to go. Quarter number 3. Big pressure on Mahomes. Who throws it away.
Throws it away.
Tristan Hill, his second game back from a torn ACL, had pressure. This Thanksgiving, you have a free chance to win $100,000 of Terry's money playing Fox Super 6. Just scan that QR code now and enter your picks in the Thanksgiving Challenge for your chance at the jackpot. Free to play. Download the Super 6 app right now. 2nd and 10. Mahomes steps through.
On the run, and he's going to try and get some yards. Get a couple.
Tackled by Donovan Wilson.
Well, it gets rough. You know, they're running man coverage, and they clear the field to the right, and that's where Mahomes is looking to go with the football. Not bad coverage by Dallas, but then it just opens up that lane, and Dallas actually responds pretty well, because there was a moment there where it looked like Mahomes was going to get a lot more out of that play.
Would be a 47-yard field goal try from this spot. 3rd down and 7. And that spot, no more. Dorrance Armstrong. A sack last week, and he's got a big one here, and a loss of 6. And that makes the field goal try by Butker that much longer, about 53. And number 92, Troy, is really coming on.
He really is. I mean, I like what he has been doing, and I thought he played outstanding against Atlanta. You know, Mahomes had places to go with the ball there. He had Kelce in front of him. He had to throw out to his right. For whatever reason, he didn't like it. Make this one a little bit tougher.
53 yards for Butker. Good snap, good hold, the kick. Boy, that's big.
Is going to be good. So 19-6, Kansas City.
2 for 2 in the ball game as Butker knocks it through.
All right. So we got 1,300 votes now. 55% Dallas, Kansas City 45%. Felix Castellano, Dallas is the best. My partner, Steelers Nation. Gunny D, this is going to get ugly. Yeah, I mean, Dallas offense hasn't done anything. 2 field goals isn't going to win you the game. They've got to score some touchdowns. The Dallas defense is definitely doing their job, but the offense has to get it together. So Royal says, here I have no TV, but I like football, baseball, and here in Columbia, always football, soccer on screens. Man, I'm just glad I could be a help, do it for you guys, people like you. Red Sill says, we need to score this quarter. Yeah. Jim Hubert, 55% of these guys must be from Texas. Oh, wow. So Dallas percentage has dropped. It's at 54% now. Kansas City's at 46%. All right, we have 617 viewers, 436 likes. I need 14 people to hit that like button. Get us to 450. 14 people out of the 615. Go ahead and hit that like button. Get us to 450. 450 likes, guys. And, of course, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you can be updated with streams just like this. Every Monday, Thursday, and, of course, Sunday, football day. 12 more likes, guys. 12 more likes gets us to 450. And another development, we have a goal of 11,000 subscribers. We're getting close to that goal. We're at 10,820. So like I said, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're getting really close to that goal, guys. Thanks a lot. And if you're part of this family, you're part of a great family. We love sports. We love all sports. We're a sports family. 11 more likes. 11 more likes gets us to 450. 450. Trevor, yeah, Texans won today, man. Texans did win.
Game. He's been to
7
the
more
Super
likes,
Bowl
guys.
twice
7
and
more
won it
likes.
all
It gets us to
2 years ago.
450. Make sure you hit that like button.
And is also, by the
450.
way, the winningest coach in Philadelphia Eagles history. And was a punt, pass, and kick specialist as a young boy. But we'll save that video for another day. As a favor to Andy. Missed opportunities in this game have been 4 takeaways total. And they've led to a total of 6 points. Been a tough day, and it's gotten a lot tougher without their top 2 receivers. And hey, I'll go back to it. Now they got the big man back here in the backfield right now. That's Connor Williams. Or McGovern, I'm sorry. Here is a handoff to Pollard. I know you've been surprised, as a gain of 4 over the left side, that the Cowboys really haven't tried to establish the run. This is the Cowboys' 10th possession. They have 8 first downs, 5 punts, 2 turnovers, 2 field goals, and they just seem to refuse to establish the run.
That's why I say, I mean, stay with it. I want to see if I want Kansas City to prove to the Cowboys that they can stop the run if they fully commit to it.
Passes to Pollard for a first down.
I mean, you've got what is regarded as one of the top, if not the top, offensive line in football. And I know they're without Tyron Smith. I understand that. And now they've got McGovern, who's making the start at left guard. But with all that being said, with what's happening in the passing game and the struggles that they've had, I think you've got to play physical smash mouth football and just see where that takes you.
Play action again. Prescott has a man. Gallup, another first down for Dallas as he stood up across the 45. As the Cowboys try to get something rolling here, a completion of 12.
This play action with the turn back protection then shores everything up. And you see the pocket that Prescott has. You got Chris Jones coming in late, but it opens up. And then just a really good job by Gallup, just sitting right down in the hole of the zone. And a nice gain.
Cowboys need a touchdown, and it's got to happen, you think, on this possession, if they're going to have any chance. Here's Wilson, and Cedric makes the move and rumbles to the 35. All of a sudden, there's life. 18 yards to the fourth-year pro from Boise State.
Yeah, this is efficient, and they've gotten quite a bit of yards. I mean, they've gotten down here to the other side of the 50, now on the 35, pretty quickly.
There's a little bit of air in this defense finally for Dak Prescott, who has 3 straight completions. Prescott for Pollard, setting up a screen. Well played. Good block out in front. Biadasz was out there. Wasn't the only one. 13 yards.
Yeah, and this was really all Tony Pollard because he's out in front, and you've got to time this up well. Watch him as he comes out, and he gets out in front of the blockers, but he realizes it. He plants, and he comes back underneath and lets them help him.
Only thing to stop the Cowboys right now is the end of the third quarter. Fox NFL Sunday back after this from your local Fox station.
All right, so we got Anthony Black. Don't sleep with the Cowboys too much. You might miss something. You must have forgotten Dallas is America's team. We at home everywhere. I like that. That was a good one. Apparatori says going to get ugly. It's already ugly. Red Seal, let's go Dak. Corey Lemon, touchdown here will get some momentum. Yeah, they got to get a touchdown, man. They got to score. Mike, yeah, man. I tried to get something to drink, and then I heard like the Backstreet Boys thing come on. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a strike. The clock kept running. Why do you think there's so many extra points and field goals missed? I don't know. It's an interesting question. It really is. I mean, when you think about it, like this year, I mean, I don't know if it's like has been different any other year, right? We have to go back and like look at like the stats, but like there's been a lot of like missed field goals and missed extra points, and it's kind of weird. Trevor says because kicking is harder than it looks. Yeah. But, I mean, extra points, though, they're right there. Royal says move the extra point back.
You got something rolling here. 5 plays, 4 first downs on this possession. Hand off to Elliott. Flag on the play, and it shuts it down before it gets going. Looked like a false start.
False start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They get the center, Biadasz.
Well, one thing about it is, for Steve Spagnuolo and this defense, it was already made a little bit easier for him when Amari Cooper couldn't play. With CeeDee Lamb out here in the second half, we've seen almost exclusively single coverage on the outside. They've locked up and played man-to-man. And here they are once again, dropping in Tyrann Mathieu.
They hand it to Elliott, and Elliott is brought down by Jaron Reed. Gain of 4 on first down.
So they definitely feel good, as they should. I mean, you showed the numbers for Dak Prescott and what they've been able to do. Really have not been able to shake anybody. As I said, longest completion, just 18 yards for an offense that's been a big play machine. And they just feel really good about their corners and what they have versus Dallas wide receivers.
Prescott on second down. Dump it off to Wilson. And pretty well played out there on the edge by Snead.
It's going to be third and about 13.
Yeah, this is the #1 scoring offense and the #1 offense in general in
Selena
yards
is not
per
amused
game.
right
A
now.
loss of 2 on the catch by Wilson brings up 3rd and long.
I'm hoping they get it together, Selena. I
I'm
really
really
am.
sure we see what they're without. But I don't even want to try to guess what that last play was they were on. They got 2 guys running routes that aren't looking for the ball. And
third down and 13. Chiefs back off.
Dak is under pressure. He's going to be sacked.
Jones again.
3 and out.
And Dak Prescott has seen enough of his fellow Mississippi State Bulldog.
he's looking here, but these routes are going to be well short of the first down. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. Here's the only guy here that's got a chance to maybe make a catch coming out of the route. And I just don't know exactly what's happening, but the protection didn't hold up anyway.
48-yard try after the 3rd sack of the game by Chris Jones. He had 3 sacks on the season coming in. And that possession that started out so
Cowboys
well
9,
was
Kansas
slowed
City
down
19.
by the end of the quarter. Nets just 3. And the lead 10 again for the Chiefs.
So like I said, I mean, you know, they can't kick their way to victory. You got to get some touchdowns. Dak's got to find a way to get that ball in the end zone. 10-point game. Looking at the Bengals and Raiders. Bengals 29, Raiders 13. Cardinals still 16. Seahawks 6. And of course, Cowboys 9, Chiefs 19. And that's where we're at. 608 viewers, likes 449. So we've hit our first goal We've hit our goal of 450. Anything extra is, of course, a cherry on top. So make sure you guys hit that like button. And, of course, make sure you are subscribed if you're not already. Cameron Ramsey says, where is the offensive line? They're on vacation, bro. Jim Mooney would really like to see Dallas make this a game. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel, too. It's like, come on, score. Get this thing like within like a field goal, and let's make it something, you know? Make it interesting. Send Arizona KC under everything today. Only 2 went over, all under. Okay. Need to pick 6 on the next drive. Jonas. Yeah, man. Yeah. Joey, you was hoping I was going to read that. I'm not going to read it, bro. Jim, the defense comment isn't necessarily true. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl without a D. Okay. Michael Williams, not me. I just want the check. I worked too hard for this. Oh boy. All right. So once again, I know we brought it up earlier. Who does everyone have for the Steelers and Chargers? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be on for that game. Got some family stuff I got to take care of, but definitely going to be playing into the background just so I could see what's going on. Steelers, Chargers. What do you guys got?
Chris Jones ties his career high with 3 sacks in the ball game. May not be finished. Also has a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. 10-point game again. Just under 13 to go. Let's take a look around the league from the early games and what's transpired. Last 3 weeks around the NFL are crazy and really hard to figure. The Vikings finally get a last-second field goal to win a game instead of being on the short end. Jonathan Taylor is an absolute superstar playing in Indianapolis. 5 total touchdowns. Here's the game. If you can figure this one out, let me know. The Texans stun the Titans. And Ron Rivera gets a win as he brings the Washington football team back to Carolina where he coached. They beat Cam Newton in the process. Heineke, another strong game as Kelsey makes the catch and he's out of bounds with 6. Flag down out there on the edge.
Jalen Morey just subscribed. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the family.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 59. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
It's called against the rookie Chauncey Golston.
Mike, I mean today, bro.
Where is he? There,
there
he comes in right
today.
At the end.
Thursday, I'm on for sure.
Pushes
100%.
Tyreek Hill right in the
you
back.
guys make sure you're locked in. Thursday, we're on. Football day. Football and food.
So the rookie gets called for 15, and that moves the ball back out to the 46. Handoff here to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Nice return.
Hilaire's going to get about 9 yards.
To active duty as Hooker makes the tackle, but a gain of 7.
Yeah, they came out and started this game. They were staying pretty balanced, running the football, and then they went back to what they do, and they started throwing it. You think now here in the fourth quarter, and
Vladimir,
got a
Cowboys,
10-point lead.
penalties.
Do they start
Tyrone Smith not in the
trying to maybe hammer it a little bit more on the ground?
Catch up.
It's a nice first down carry.
Quick throw, easy pitch and catch, first down hit.
First down. Hayden Keating just
7-yard carry and then a 6-yard completion.
Yeah, it's that
What's up,
run
Martha?
pass option. You either hand it off if you like what you've got outside. There's Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator, and Mahomes like the one-on-one matchup and the easy completion. It's first down.
Seventh catch of the ball game for Tyreek Hill. Had 7 for 83 against the Raiders. This one is incomplete and dangerously up into the air off the arms of Tyreek Hill. And more on Patrick Mahomes and his childhood. Let's go to Tom Rinaldi.
Joe, Patrick Mahomes from Tyler, Texas, talking to him this week on the phone. He said he grew up a lifelong Cowboys fan in a family filled with them, would go to the games even before Jerry World was built. And when this game came out in the spring on the schedule, he noted it immediately. Has a lot of family here. Said, I just hope they remember to cheer for me. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet, guys.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Now 2nd down and 10. Mahomes out to his left, still looking to throw.
Need a couple yards.
And ends up tucking and running out of bounds with a gain of 4. You know, there are times when we watch now Patrick for a couple of games where his eyes are always downfield and there's room in front of him if he's willing to just take off, but he's just and then by that time the time kind of runs out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and he would much rather
Man, you guys
get the
are brutal
big
in the
play.
comments
So
today.
when he's outside the pocket, he's definitely looking for that. When if he was a little more decisive, there'd be more there. But he's made a lot of big plays doing it that way.
Here's pressure by Parsons off the edge.
Mahomes gets it off the hill.
Not going to get it.
He's going to be short.
Brings up 4th down as KZ Starting safety makes the stop, and the field goal unit comes on with Butker.
Well, it's hard to argue with what Dallas has done. I mean, they have hung in there, and they've not given up big plays, and they've made stops. You got Tyreek Hill, who's still banged up a little bit.
Looks like that's getting worse the more he goes toward the bench. 51-yard try now by Butker.
$51-yard kick.
And the kick is
wide right. No good.
And Dallas, down 10, will start at their own 41.
So this
There's
could be
life
the change
for number 4 in the Cowboys
could be the change
here in Kansas City.
All right. What do we got going on here? Yeah, I don't think you have to have the best grammar to enjoy football, to be honest. I don't think many people are worried about grammar in the comments. Just saying. We're out here to have a good time, listen to the game, be entertained. $586 viewers, 454 likes. We got 1,384 votes. Dallas 54%, Kansas City 46%. Mike says I would have punted. The dude, battle of the foot. Hey, you know what's funny is I actually used to have a friend. His name was Dude. He was older gentleman, and he's a good man. It's brought back a memory, the Dude. Thanks for that, bro. Utread 2012. What's up, man? I'm going good. Bills didn't have a good day though. I was actually at the game. Literally there watching it live as they got destroyed. So I was not too happy about that. But hey, it is what it is. Craig Hagler, I just subscribed. Thanks a lot, man. I got a new phone. What'd you get, bro? Did you get an Android? Did you get an Apple? What'd you get? Joel Z. Williams, thank you so much for remaining silent until the commercials. Greatly appreciated. No, I try to keep it, at a minimum. YouTube basically wants me to add some commentary, bro. Believe you me, if I could just not have my face and my voice on here, I would do it. But YouTube's made it that way, and I've kind of just tried to, twist it into the way that I need to make it easy for my viewers and myself, obviously. I have no problem showing my face. I've got the confidence for it. But I know it's just easier for you guys to listen to the game and not be distracted by my face and my voice. But that's just where we're at. iPhone 13? Yeah, man. That's the phone to get. I've got the Pro Max. I love it. And I do college as well. Yes.
No touchdown passes between Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes.
A little different game than we were anticipating for sure.
A little birthday treat for old 8-ball over there. First down from the 41. Prescott steps up.
Trouble. Deep pass. Airs it out. Broken up.
Not able to make the catch. With good coverage by Charvarius Ward. 2nd and 10.
I'd like to take a closer look at this and see. Charvarius Ward really finishes this play nicely. Wilson gets in behind him. Tough throw for Prescott. Okay, I thought there for a minute Wilson might have had it, and then Ward knocked it out, but never quite got it. This secondary for Kansas City has really done the job.
Really underrated, as it turns out. And they've gotten better as the season has gone on. Cowboys don't have a 20-yard pass play complete in the game. Elliott gets dumped as Fenton makes the play, and he got the worst of it. And Rashad Fenton just crawls over to the bench.
Okay.
After a 3-yard gain on that
tackle. Nothing wrong with a new Android. We're not going to do the Apple versus Android war here.
Right in the shoulder.
It's all about preference.
Not sure exactly what, but he's getting looked at.
Mike Hughes takes his spot.
Well, maybe you come down and challenge him. They're not giving him any help right now. Depends on what he does. If he hangs here, maybe he gives help over the top. But if not, test Hughes.
It's Noah Brown across from him.
Prescott is sacked
yet again.
He's going to lose about
And this
4 yards.
offensive line not holding up for Dallas as Jreasn Reed and Chris Jones get home in a loss of 2.
Zach Martin is arguably the best guard in all of
Cameron,
football.
I have not,
Chris
bro.
Jones
Definitely
lines up right
wanna check
across
it out.
from him. It's mano a mano. And who's going to win? And Chris Jones wins this battle. He's able to get Zach Martin off balance. He comes around. He's had quite a day, Chris Jones has. Jreasn Reed, like you said, he helps
Ooh la la,
finish
no
it
problem.
off.
3.5 sacks now for Chris Jones. 5 sacks in the game for Kansas City. They came in with just 14 all season. Here's Hughes on the return. Brought down near the 14. Chris Jones. Man, have a day. Big 95. Chiefs have the football, leading by 10 here at home.
Private, not for public display. Thank you for not being loud and intrusive. I watch this feed because I don't have to listen to you doing play-by-play over the commentators. Props on being so respectful to your viewers. Man, thanks for that. You know, I get comments like this all the time, and it just basically shows me that I'm doing what I need to do, and you know, what you guys want. And you know, without a doubt, you know, thanks for being here. Ooh la la. I was just basically saying, you know, thanks for being here, and no problem. You know, make sure you subscribe, and I do this every Monday, Thursday, and of course Sunday, football day. I also stream basketball, baseball, and college games. And yeah. So we got Adele's new album. That's the topic going on in the chat, guys. Adele's new album. I've heard it's really good. I haven't checked it out yet. I definitely do want to check it out. I heard she's got a lot to say, a lot of emotion in this new album, so I definitely want to check it out. Jim Mooney. Utrecht, the Patriots and the Colts won. That's what I cared about. Man, listen, I had to sit through that game live. I'm not happy about it. That's for sure. Definitely not happy about it. You always do a good job even though you're not a Steelers fan. Listen, I love all sports, you know? And obviously, like, being in this like space, right? You can't really be biased in a sense, right? You have to, like, you know, like some commentators are like super biased towards their team. Like, you know, if I'm streaming the Bills and they're playing whoever, like, I'm just gonna, you know, call it for what it is, you know? And not get too emotional about it. I think that's just, you know, I don't think you, in this kind of position, you can't do that, right? You gotta call the plays for both teams, and you know, someone scores a touchdown, you gotta be excited about it, and that's just what it is.
For the first time since 2018. Everybody expected a shootout. Instead, the story of the game, the two defenses.
What a run.
As Edwards-Helaire just ran right through Dallas's defense for 14 yards and a first down.
And that's what they've missed in their run game with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the lineup. I mean, there's not a whole lot there, but with his quickness, and he's so low to the ground, it's hard for defenders to see exactly where he is when he's behind those blockers, and he's got really good vision and balance and all those things. And Darrell Williams did a nice job, but yeah, he's not Edwards-Helaire.
Here he is again.
Another run for about
still able to make it a decent pickup on first down of 3. Saturday, it's the game. Latest chapter in college football's ultimate rivalry. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 6, Michigan. in the Big Noon Saturday Game of the Week. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern with Big Noon Kickoff live from Ann Arbor. And then it's the game Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Michael Rosenberg wrote a great book on the history of that tremendous rivalry. Worth a read for anybody a fan of Ohio State or Michigan.
And even if you're not, that's a fun game.
Here's a second down carry by Clyde Edwards-Helaire, picking up 5, so 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, so here they're going to the ground game now. See if they can pick up these first downs and take time off the clock, run this thing down, and all comes down right here to Dallas. This is you kind of feel like they don't make a stop here. It's kind of over. I mean, they've got to make a stop and get the ball to the offense and see if they can't summon up something that they've been unable to throughout this game.
Chiefs hurry up now out of the huddle to the line. Mahomes, Kelsey, first down. The drive continues.
First down.
You know, you see change-ups in play calling. How about a change-up in the way a team comes out of the huddle?
Yeah, they rush to the line of scrimmage and they get a bunch set and let the defense try to figure out where each guy's going. They get Kelsey into the flat. Nobody's able to get to him. You know, they're anticipating man. Hard to navigate all those bodies when you're in coverage.
Kelsey, 5 catches. All have come in this second half. This one for Pringle, trying to make a spinning catch, and it's not there with Trevon Diggs out there in coverage. Instead of just handing off with Darrell Williams in the backfield, they throw an incompletion and stop the clock.
Yeah, and Dallas says thank you very much.
Boom. Can't wait for that. Premiering Christmas Day before football, and we'll be in Green Bay for the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau. Now back to the ground with Williams. Keanu Neal on the stop.
Well, that's why Patrick Mahomes, after that first down play, he kind of pointed to his own helmet, and you know they had the run pass option on, and it was Mahomes who then threw it on first down. They have the same thing there on second down. This time he hands it off, and I am amazed sometimes how much flexibility around the league is given to quarterbacks in some of these situations when you just take some of that decision making out of their hands and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do.
Third down and
technical difficulties, guys. No momento. Well, that just happened.
Win games. Williams bounces and stays in, picks up another first down. And Kansas City trying to prove that their win on Sunday night as they look for their 4th win in a row was no fluke.
Watch the push by that offensive line up front. You know, these guys, that's why I say it a lot, that when we don't get a lot of Kansas City games, but when we do, I do like their ability to run the football. They don't do it very much. They run it one of the fewest amounts in the NFL. But it is a line that's capable of doing the things that they are doing on this possession.
I feel like we used to say that a lot in Philly games with Andy Reid back there.
We did.
Here's Williams spun to the ground as Carlos Watkins made that stop. And a timeout taken by Dallas. We'll be right back after this from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. Thanks for the great rate on my insurance, man.
Wait. I said
There's no doubt. And I do think coming in, you know, we were going to learn a lot about both of these teams by the time it ended.
Mahomes is spinning around, and that's a big play as Parsons gets another. That'll be a sack for Parsons. A loss of 8 on the play. A timeout taken by Dallas. That's 9 sacks for this kid.
Well, you remember earlier when they scored the touchdown, Mahomes was a little reluctant to pitch it then. I'm not sure exactly why he didn't pitch it to begin with. You remember the touchdown? He hesitated a minute, and then he finally did, and they scored easily. This one, if he just turns and pitches it right away as soon as Parsons takes them, they've got a nice gain out there, and I think Mahomes maybe, you know, overthought that a little bit, or it's just something he's not real crazy about doing. But nevertheless, I think the big thing, what you just said, Joe, was, I mean, if you're Steve Spagnuolo or Andy Reid in this defense, I mean, you come out of this game, yeah, I know they were without Amari Cooper and then CeeDee Lamb in the second half, but that was a really this has been an outstanding defensive performance by Kansas City.
Mahomes sets up a screen, a middle screen for the tight end Bell, who takes it inside the 35 to the 34, and Dallas will use their final timeout. Well, there's no doubt that one of the hotshot offensive coaches in the NFL is Kellen Moore with the creativity. But in this ball game, Steve Spagnuolo is building with this defense, and the veteran Spagnuolo, who's done it and done it well for a lot of years, has had the upper hand in this game.
Yes, he has. I mean, I like what he's done. I like the game plan that he came in with. I mean, right from the beginning, he just said, we're coming after him. I mean, we're going to be aggressive. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to worry about the big plays so much. And we feel like we match up pretty well, and just did a really nice job. He's an excellent football coach, done a great job at a lot of places as a defensive coordinator, and he's got this unit. It's not easy when you're as explosive as they are offensively. When you get into yards given up, and that's how they measure these teams and how they rank them, you're always then going to give up a fair amount of yards because the opposing offenses are always playing catch up and they're throwing it. But in this game, and really for the last month, they've gotten better and better and better. I think Frank Clark has gotten healthier. We've seen Chris Jones and what he's been able to do. They're utilizing him. It's been good, and it's a great compliment. This offense didn't play as well as what they would like, but you always deep down, you still believe they're going to get back to just humming on all cylinders like we've seen in the past.
Here is a little pooch kick to try to pin him deep, and boy, did that work. Down to the 2. Wow. Harrison Butker with a beauty. And the Cowboys, with no timeouts, 2:35 left, have the ball at their own 2, down by 10.
Well, this checked up perfectly. This is the way you do it, Buck, on the golf course. Yeah, I know it is. Dave Tobe, the special teams coach for Kansas City, no one was clapping more than he was with the way this was executed. There he is.
Well, that was just perfection.
That was.
Because if you try the field goal and you make it, I mean, it's still a 13-point game. If you miss it, you give Dallas a short field. Here's a pass. That's no interference call. As Dalton Schultz gets up, Mike Hughes in coverage and never got his head around. Kind of stopped Schultz, but no flag.
Yeah, it's been a little inconsistent, to say the least. You're going to see at the bottom, 21.
I don't know how that's not pass interference.
I don't either.
2nd and 10. Prescott, Schultz on that side, and he's out of bounds with a first down for Dallas. 20-yard completion.
They got Schultz on the 7 route, and he's able to get in behind it. And one of the better throws that we've seen from Prescott in this game. And you start looking at it and say, who do they have that can fly, that can get down the field and make a play? Because they need a big chunk.
Officially a 19-yard completion, the longest of the game for Dallas. Here's one over the middle for Wilson, and he dropped it. Prescott may have been a little bit off in this game, but he was hurt by some drops, and Wilson has a couple of them.
Yeah, he does. And this one, when you get this far down the field, you know that you're going to get hit. I mean, it's just part of it. You just try to secure the catch, protect yourself. Just not able to do it.
4 Cowboy drops officially in the game, and the top scoring offense, the Dallas Cowboys, not able to crack the end zone yet. Prescott, Schultz. So without CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, his best and most trusted receiver has been the tight end Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, Prescott, he takes a pretty good hit at the end of that play. Frank Clark, they run a little game, and he gets a clean shot just as Prescott's letting it go. Number 55 right there in the middle.
3rd down and 5. Prescott is in trouble and finds Elliott. And Ezekiel able to tiptoe down the sidelines. They're going to mark him out at the 46 with 2:04 left and a first down.
Well, you look at this with Kansas City's lead, and yet Steve Spagnuolo, he's still just one-on-one. I mean, he's one-on-one. You see the safety here in the middle. They're one-on-one everywhere else, and he's just saying, hey, we're okay. Feel good about it. Play coverage and don't give up the big play. What? I mean, that's not what he's doing, and he's not doing it right now with a 10-point lead.
And not threatened without Lamb or Cooper.
Now he's backing out a little bit. Tyrann Mathieu is.
Prescott underneath to Elliott, who just lays into
Run out of bounds.
Mike Hughes. And we're at the 2-minute warning here in Kansas City. Fans have enjoyed themselves.
2
Those
minutes
in
left.
red here in week number 11.
It's been one of those games where we didn't expect it to be like this. We expected it to be like, a game. But, Kansas City is, from the looks of it, pulled this thing off. Scores around the league. Bengals knocking out the Raiders 32-13. Cardinals looks like they're putting the finishing touches on Seattle. It's 23-13. 2 minutes left. And right now we've got a minute, 57 seconds left in the fourth. Cowboys 9, Chiefs 19. Carl Hagler asks me, who is my favorite NFL player? Bruce Smith, 90s Bills. We got 546 viewers, 472 likes. Can we hit 500 likes, guys? Can we do that? Is it possible? We need 28 more. 28 people out of the 535. Can we get 28 people? Hit that like button. Get us to 500. 28 more likes, y'all. We'll hit 500. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. That way you'll be updated with streams just like this on Mondays, Thursdays, and of course, Sundays. Jamoni, that's a real good commentary. Capable of doing what they're doing because they're doing it right now. So that makes them very capable of... Wow, I couldn't have thought of that one. Jim, just once. Just once. What a night for football. Yeah, what a day for football. It's still not over. One more game to go. James Wagner, I like how Buck and Aikman are putting the non-calls on blast. Peter Flynn says Dallas is trash. Can't even score a touchdown. Ugh, it's a rough day today. Kathy Thomas says cool. All right. Eric Honeycutt just subscribed. Thanks a lot, man. Welcome to the family. 20 more likes, guys. 20 more likes, and we will hit 500. I need 20 people out of the 525 to go ahead and hit that like button. Get us to 500. Much appreciated. And make sure you subscribe.
They've owned this game. 2nd down and 3. Cowboys have had at least 2 touchdowns in every game this year. They have none in this game, as the pass is underneath to Malik Turner. And he's got a 1st down, a gain of 11.
Dak hasn't been able to hit anything down the field. They've tried 5 beyond 20 yards, 0 for 5, but they have chances now, and now's the time to try something, because you need a touchdown, you need a big play. Here's Gallup, and he's down near the 20. But there's a little more room in this secondary as the Chiefs are backing off. A 16-yard completion here. Cowboys hurry it up. 10-point game. Prescott. That pass
Prescott is picked off.
Sneed with the game-ending interception.
This game is over.
And the Cowboys will be held out of the end zone here in Kansas City. And big number 95, who has 3.5 sacks in the game, gets his hands up, tips it, and Sneed has his 2nd pick of the season. Well,
Thanks
first
a lot,
of all,
Phillip.
it's such a great play by Chris
Welcome.
Jones, and we've noted the night that he has had. And L'Jarius Sneed, it seems kind of fitting for the game that he's had as well. Been physical, and he's able to, from that slot position, make a play on this deflected ball by Chris Jones.
Troy, this Chiefs defense.
Kansas City fan from
Under
Hawaii.
a minute to go. Cowboys no timeouts. The Chiefs defense watched the Dallas Cowboys take the ball inside their own 30 5 times. Allowed no touchdowns and just 9 points.
Just an unbelievable performance by them. And Dallas now having lost 2 of their last 3, hoping that they can get healthy.
Mahomes is going to kneel it, and that's going to end the game.
This is a tough loss, but a great win for Kansas City, and the momentum continues.
12 more likes, you guys. 12 more likes.
At Mississippi
We'll hit
State.
500. I need 12 more people to hit that like button before it's all over.
Prescott and Chris
Get
Jones.
us to 500, guys.
And Mike McCarthy and Andy Reid come together as now Reid's Chiefs have won 4 straight, and the Cowboys held out of the end zone.
8 more likes. We hit
7-3.
500. 8 more
Kansas
people.
City
Hit that
on
like
top
button.
in the West, in the AFC. Bonus coverage coming up. Arizona at Seattle. Here's Kenny Albert.
We welcome those of you who have
3
just
more
joined
likes.
us.
3
Kenny
more
Albert,
likes,
Jonathan
guys.
Phillips,
500.
Sarah
3 more
Walsh
likes.
in Seattle.
All right, we hit our
Russell
goal.
Wilson,
Thanks, guys. Congratulations,
for the
we made
first
it.
time in his career, will lose a
Now we're on
third
to the
consecutive
end
start.
of the Cardinals and Seahawks game.
The Arizona
Minute 16
Cardinals
left.
with Colt McCoy making his 3rd consecutive start for the injured Kyler Murray. An outstanding day for McCoy. There's the general manager, Steve Keim, along with Kyler Murray. Colt McCoy, 35 of 44, 328 yards, and a couple of touchdown passes in the first half to Zach Ertz.
You talk about complimentary football. This was as good as it gets, and we saw that San Francisco game. I watched the film on it. That was a really, really good outing. I think this one was more
Kathy
dominant.
Thomas, what's your question? Who's your
the
favorite
impact
in regards
that
to what?
both sides of the ball
Team,
had
player,
to make
you're
sure
asking
that
teams, Buffalo Bills.
DK Metcalf dejected, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson.
Jim, thanks
they
for
had
having
a
you,
poor
bro.
outing and wanted to show up today. Defensively stifled them.
Colt McCoy, 33rd career start. Shovel pass to Zach Ertz. And he found Ertz in the end zone once again. A.J. Green with a big day.
Yeah, Buffalo
Christian
Bills.
Kirk
Buffalo Bills, my favorite
on the
team.
reception there. Rondale Moore with 11 catches. So the Cardinals will go to 2-1 in McCoy's 3 starts. Raise their record to 9-2. Best record in the National Football League. and a 6-0 start for the Cardinals on the road.
And road warriors. And it's interesting because they're winning all their games on the road. They potentially lock up that 1 seed in the bye. If we're playing at home, so they got to figure it out at home more so than on the road.
Jim, if it's a primetime game, I stream it.
Cardinals.
Paige Harper says,
"Let's
go.
Weekend
We won."
and then head to Chicago. Look at Russell Wilson's numbers in his second start back from the finger issue. Big day for McCoy. Ertz with
Jonas, I'm going to give you a call soon, bro, so we can chop it up.
And a pair of touchdowns.
Yeah, for Russell Wilson, we just saw him. He is
Selena, as always,
mentally almost
love having you around.
Right? And that little bit,
even though
that
Dallas
you need
lost,
is what gets you 24,
I know how you
28,
feel. My Bills lost today too,
touchdowns,
so we're in the same boat.
To today, we're just not.
Yeah, Jim. As long as it's a primetime game, I'm going to stream it.
Pete Carroll, understanding it's a long road ahead, still a long season.
Play a
You
game.
have to find a way to kind of win.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Seahawks will drop to 3-7 for the first time since 2009. And since 1990, only one team has made it to the postseason, losing 7 of their first 10 games.
Well, I'll say this.
Have a
They
good night,
definitely
Selena.
have the talent. You have Lockett, Metcalf, Russell Wilson. Defensively, they have the players. So if there's a team that can get it done, it's them. But chances are really, really slim.
Seahawks will head on the road and take on the Washington football team a week from tomorrow. Seattle pulled to within 3 midway through the 4th quarter. But then the Cardinals put together their 3rd long scoring drive of the game. So bye next week, and then a trip to Chicago, followed by a home game against their division rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. Zach Ertz in his 5th game with Arizona following the trade from Philadelphia, with a pair of touchdown receptions. Cardinals with a 10-point lead, 16 seconds remaining. As Wilson hands it off, DJ Dallas.
All right, and this game is over.
Tackled
Cardinals,
by Zach Allen.
23, Seattle
As
Seahawks.
time winds down,
13.
Cliff Kingsbury on the Cardinals go to 9-2, best record in the NFL. Worst 10-game start for the Seahawks during the Pete Carroll era. Well,
all right, so I'm going to give you guys a brief synopsis on today. So your Week 11, Ravens, Bears, Ravens 16, Bears 13, Packers, Vikings, Packers 31, Vikings 34. Colts, Bills, Colts 41, Bills 15. Lions, Browns, Lions 10, Browns 13. Washington and the Panthers, Washington football team, 27 Washington, 21 Panthers. Texans, Titans, Texans 22, Titans 13. 49ers, Jaguars, 49ers 30, Jaguars 10. Dolphins, Jets, Dolphins 24, Jets 17. Saints, Eagles, Saints 29, Eagles 40. Bengals, Raiders, Bengals 32, Raiders 13. Cardinals, Seattle, Cardinals 23, Seattle 13. And Cowboys, Chiefs, Cowboys 9, Chiefs 19. So, yeah, that's the games up until this point. You've got Steelers and Chargers coming at 8:20. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be streaming that game. I got some stuff I got to take care of tonight. I will be back on tomorrow, Monday Night Football. I'm here, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're locked in. And I'll be here. And, of course, Thursday, 100% Turkey Day. Food, drinks, football. Yeah, we doing it big. We're doing a giveaway, too. Cash. We're not doing a PS5 yet. We're going to do some cash for Thanksgiving. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you lock it in. We're doing a cash giveaway Thanksgiving. And we're going to make it fun. We're going to make it real fun. And that's what we do. That's what we do. So once again, thank you guys for sticking with me. Wrench Gang, you already know what time it is. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified whenever we start streaming. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Jonas, I'm going to hit you up, bro. Mike, yeah, the bot got you. Strong language. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. And we'll catch you on the next one there. Everyone have a good night and be safe.